The wind blows strong today. I hope your travel was calm. Hello and welcome to the world of Pokemon. But you've heard that many times before, haven't you? I see you. All of you. I see all the regions you've traveled in ages gone by. From Kanto to Galar, from Norclo to Ascent and beyond. I can tell you're a very well-traveled Pokemon trainer. All of you. And there are many. I say there may be more of you than there are Pokemon on this island. Pokemon are wondrous creatures. Most are part of nature, others are human-made, and some are the stuff of myth and legends. My job as a professor and oracle is to research these Pokemon myths and make sense of the nonsensical, to wonder about the wondrous. But enough about me. Welcome, champions, to the Solympia region. I hear all of you have many wonderful stories of your own. Perhaps you've met a legendary Pokemon or two yourself. Thank you for agreeing to my invite. I see you left all your Pokemon at home. The Solympia region has a very delicate ecosystem, and your presence here is unusual for many. But you'll learn all about that soon enough. A world full of untold wonders and mysteries awaits you. Let's delay no longer. Let's go! Champion, I should introduce myself. I am Professor Dodona. Welcome to my lab in Trickletown. This sleepy town is the smallest in the region and is my home. I've lived here through 5 different Tempests. When I was a young man, I traveled across the land, from the Elderwood Forest to the tip of Mount Solympia, collecting Pokemon and even taking on the Pokemon League. But Trickletown has been my home through it all. Of course, nowadays, this town is bustling with travelers from across the world of ours. It's the busiest I've ever known it to be, ever since the last Tempest ended and the tourists have arrived. But listen to me rambling on. First, the formalities. A gift for you, champion. As you are unable to bring Pokemon of your own, you'll need a partner if you are to travel across Olympia. And what would be more fitting for us than to give you one of the Pokemon that all the trainers start with here in Olympia? Who knows? This Pokemon and you may just become good friends. First, we have Twiguana, the Iguana Pokemon. These Pokemon are strategic and tough in battle. Scientists in other regions thought this Pokemon was an extinct species until it was discovered thriving here in Solympia. This Pokemon truly is an example of how unique life can be here in Solympia, and how truths once lost can be found again. Next up, we have the Pokemon Emble. Emble is the flaming calf Pokemon, and is a sprightly little fella, known for being a hothead and charging into situations. This is truly the most tenacious partner you can think of. You know this Pokemon's heart is full of fire when black smoke billows from its nose. This Pokemon truly represents a region with an unmovable spirit. If that sounds like you, pick Emble. Finally, we have Kingfisher, the water sword Pokemon. This Pokemon is renowned for being an excellent diving Pokemon, skewering prey in its sword-like beak. It can react to its surroundings with rapid speed, and can change the direction it's flying in an instant. Truly, this Pokemon represents Olympia's adaptability to change, a quality needed in any champion, don't you agree? And there you have it. This troublesome trio are the perfect companions to any trainer here in Solympia. So who would you like to train as a gift? Ah yes, I should probably mention that while I am a man of science, I am also known as the Oracle Professor. I can see who you'll pick, and not just in this reality, but across the Pokeverse. I see. Between all of you, you'll take all of them. Maybe let me know in the comments exactly which Pokemon you chose, and later in this Pokemon journey you'll surely get to see your partner grow and evolve. You'll get to catch other Pokemon too, so let me know from video to video just how your team is coming along. I know starting with a new partner may seem simple for someone as esteemed as yourself, but just because you're a champion doesn't mean you don't have a lot to learn. But I'm rambling on again. Look at you! You've been in Solympia only a short while and already have yourself your first Pokemon. I would recommend you take on the Pokemon League Challenge and show the world what you came here to do. But first, there is someone else here, someone who I know is dying to meet you. Head to the house north of Route 1. My underling is waiting for you there. It'll give you time to train with your partner. Good luck, and see you again soon!
Hey Pokemon Masters! Welcome to the Solympia region, and would you look at you? You've already chosen a partner Pokemon and that's great! You already know me, I'm Birdkeeper Toby, and this region is a place I've been eager to share with you for so long. So if you don't mind, my voice might be popping up from time to time to act as your guide across this part of the Pokemon world. I guess though, you could do with a little context if you're going to be traveling the region with just this partner Pokemon of yours and some Pokeballs at your back, so here goes. This is the Solympia region, and the Solympia region has a very unique ecology. This island nation has existed in solitude for great periods of time across the history of the Pokemon world, due to enormous storms known as Tempests. A Tempest is a storm that surrounds the island that is caused by some kind of local legendary Pokemon here on the island, and they're no ordinary storms. They can last from months to decades, with the longest said to have been even 100 years long. And in all that time, the other regions of the Pokemon world advance and progress technologically speaking, while this region sits safely at the eye of the storm, undisturbed and unchanged. Very few trainers have ever been able to sail through a Tempest and either access or leave Solympia, but as a renowned Pokemon trainer from another region, you've been invited here especially. The last Tempest only ended 6 months ago, and since then trainers and tourists and less responsible types have been appearing at Trickletown every day. Trickletown, by the way, is a sleepy little village on the front side of the island that has no gym to speak of, but sits as a perfect intersection between routes 1, 2, and 3. So why don't you take your first steps out of the lab door and, Oh, wait, it sounds like someone's coming.
Hey you! Did Professor Dodonna really just give you a Pokemon? You? An outsider? Oh, I see. You're supposed to be that hotshot champion from another region, right? Okay, little champ. I want to see your moves. See, to be clear, this is my town and my island. I'm here to give you a taste of Solympia.
Well, it looks like you're being challenged to your first Pokemon battle here in Solympia, and a champion like you can't decline, so do the world a favor and don't lose your first match, okay?
Let's throw you back into the sea. Go, Capon!
Alright, your first new Solympian Pokemon. This Pokemon appears to be Capon, the chick Pokemon, and as you don't have your Pokedex yet, you don't know much about it. Still, it looks evident looking at it that it would be a flying type. If you chose the grass starter, then you're in for a slightly harder time against its peck attack. It also knows scratch and sand attack, but other than that, it's a pretty straightforward battle. You're probably just getting some deja vu of your early days as a trainer.
My Capon is special. Everyone can tell.
Your starters should all be equipped with moves that are able to handle this, tackle and wing attack, and don't worry, because after this battle you'll level up right away, meaning depending on the starter you picked, Razor Leaf, Water Gun and Ember will join your move pool. It shouldn't be hard to prove to this person that you're not called a champion for no reason.
Ah, my Pokemon! Fine, you've beaten me. I'll give you that. But I didn't think your Pokemon was very strong for someone who's supposed to be a champion. Heck, I know kids at the trainer school with stronger Pokemon. How rude of me. I've introduced myself in the art of battle, but you don't even know who you're speaking to. I'm Cass. Cass of Trickletown. Cass of Solympia. This is my home, you hear me? Not just this town, but this island. And you Stormers are why I need to get stronger. Head home, little champ. You may have won this battle, but next time, I'll be putting you in your place.
Now, Cass, this person's our special guest. I saw the battle through the window. Champion, it's true that outsiders and the mainlanders sometimes clash, but not all of them do. I'm good friends with a Stormer, as they call them. A professor who lives on Route 1. Still, a little rivalry is healthy for everyone, and I see it. You two are connected. I'm glad I caught you, Champion. I nearly forgot. And Cass, it's good you're here too. I've written to the principal and got permission for you like you asked. You've been given leave to survey the island with your very own Pokedex.
Really, Professor?
Yes, here, take one.
Wait, you're giving a Stormer a Pokedex too?
Of course. Great journeys should never be traveled alone. I'll also give you these Pokeballs. With them, you should travel Solympia and research as many of the local Pokemon as you can. I hear this is quite commonplace in other regions. By sharing this information with the world, we can all gain a better understanding of what's out there. We can see beyond our little island home.
Fine. But let's be clear, I'm nobody's rival. This so-called champion had quite a dose of beginner's luck. This island is my home. Our home, Professor Dodonna. I don't think it's a good idea to just invite people here to see all our Pokemon. Who knows what they'll do? Stormers.
I'm sorry about her, dear champion. The trainer school recently had to be moved to Rumbletown, the next town over, to make way for the new port. It's caused a lot of change in the life of many of my students. Acclimating to something new isn't an easy process for those who are closed off to change. If I was her, well, she's probably heading to Route 1 now. That's where she met her partner Pokemon all those years ago. It's also where you'll find my colleague. He's studying wild Pokemon from a small house on the north side. Jolly man, big heart. Oh my, I'm rambling again. Head to Route 1. I'm sure you'll see for yourself. Safe travels.
Wow, what a nice old man. It's a shame that it wasn't a completely warm welcome here in Solympia, but I'm sure Cass will come around when she sees how nice you really are. And with that sorted, you are heading out to Route 1. Heading north from Trickletown and finally setting out onto a new Pokemon adventure, this route is a long stretch of grassy plains, split into two by a very short caved path. The cave looks to be a relatively short tunnel system connected to the base of a bigger mountain in the west, a mountain in the middle of 3, and you recognize it. Where you're going to tread is into the base of Mount Solympia itself. However, for now, the only place this passage will take you is between the south and north portions of this route. Before that, you're surrounded by grassy areas and a few low-level trainers from the trainer school in the upcoming town.
Wow, a new trainer! I wonder if you're any good.
I got a Pokemon from Professor Dodona. You don't stand a chance.
All of these trainers will be battling you using Pokemon that you can find here on this route. So if you want to be prepared for them, it's time to step into the tall grass and discover the first few Pokemon that you can catch here on Route 1. Other than your starter, this Pokemon is the first to be registered into your Pokedex, Barbug. Barbug is the spiky ball Pokemon, and this bug poison type is really common around this area. They are a pain for travelers who aren't prepared for them. Their spike body attaches them to most things they touch, causing a great deal of pain. Luckily, you're prepared with the starter Pokemon, and if you wanted to catch one, it wouldn't be too difficult. Next up is a Pokemon you've seen before. This cute chick Pokemon is a normal flying type and is known as Capon. It knows your basic peck and scratch style moves. You may also notice that these wild Capon look somewhat different to the one that Cass had, but you can't put your finger on what exactly it is. However, if you're incredibly lucky, you may find one like Cass's. The chances of this, though, seem really small, so I'm not sure how many of you this will affect. Maybe 1 in 8,000? You may also notice some familiar faces on this route, in the form of Pichu and Slackoth, and I won't say too much, but there's the possible promise for regional variation down the line. Not for every Pokemon that you'll encounter, but maybe for some. Still, if you want to complete your Pokedex, you should pick them up. However, there's still one more new Pokemon that you're yet to see here on Route 1, and that is Rattaru. Rattaru is the jump kick Pokemon, a fighting type that can kick really hard. According to the Pokedex, they use their powerful legs to launch themselves into the air and then land with a devastating blow. Of course, this means that it's a Pokemon that can learn high jump kick really early on, which will make it a great addition to your team. And these are just a handful of Pokemon that you'll find here on the island of Solympia. And they, along with your starters, make for just a fraction of the over 100 never before discovered creatures that live here on the island. Though, if you're particularly studious, you may have already heard of a handful of them from past tales of mine. Anyway, which ones will you add to your team? Let me know in the comments below. I want to know each episode what your team is looking like. Ahead of you stands the Solympia Passage at the base of Mount Solympia, and you must pass through here to continue your journey. As you peek inside the entrance, you hear a jolly voice echoing.
"Ho ho ho, I say! What a splendid show of fisticuffs!"
This small tunnel is windy on the inside, with places for new Pokemon to hide, so searching behind rocks will give you access to hidden items like potions and Pokeballs, as well as allowing you to expand your team. Both Aeron and Munchlax can be found in this cave, as well as the previously mentioned Rattaru, but there are 2 new Pokemon that you might find here. In fact, there's one jumping out at you right now. This is Cyrox, the relentless Pokemon, and it's known for being a true leader in battle. It's a fighting rock type, and initial reports of this Pokemon in other regions were exaggerated, suggesting they were giants. This has drawn many scientists to come to the island to come and study them. A cool rock and fighting type to add to your team. It knows moves like Brick Break, Rock Smash, and Dynamic Punch from its time training, as well as wielding powerful rock moves like Rock Throw to begin with, and then over time that can become Rock Slide. And speaking of rocks, here comes another new Pokemon. This is Snubbull, and it's a ground rock Pokemon that actually isn't native to the region of Solympia at all, but according to its Pokedex entry was imported here from Northclo, a faraway region you might be familiar with if you've seen Pokemon Cardinal. Anyway, since coming here they've preyed on the local Rattaru and have become quite the pest. Still, if you choose to pick one up, I'm sure it'll evolve into something very, very cool. I wonder how these Pokemon got here all the way from the Northclo region.
Ho ho, good show I say. It's been a while since I've had a good game of fisticuffs.
How does someone like you move so fast?
If I were you, I'd be napping all the time.
You do nap all the time, Crash.
Gee, mellow out, and don't call me out in front of the old-timer.
Look, people are coming.
Oh, this is getting tiring. Don't you agree?
Yeah, we just wanted to find a place to nap. How are we supposed to know this passage is a protected nature reserve?
The old man back there put up quite a fight. He's good enough to be a gym leader or something.
Hey, Crash. Who is this?
Huh, you spooked me standing there all quiet like. I bet you have a problem with us snoozing too. That's it, Mello. Let's show this one how we do it in Team Snooze.
Well, look at that. It seems these two are Team Snooze grunts. Team Snooze hasn't been a real evil team in years. I wonder what they're doing here in Solympia. Well, right now they're challenging you to a double battle, of course. Don't just stand there. You should send out your starter alongside another team member. Let's see what they send into battle.
Time to wake up, Munchlax!
Go Slack Off!
Ha! Of course, a Munchlax and a Slack Off. Nothing too exciting and very on brand for Team Snooze. Still, there's no new Pokemon here and their Pokemon have no type advantages, so putting them under the table will be a piece of cake.
Wait, you think we wouldn't bring backup? Let's go, Hoot Hoot!
Come on out, Snooze!
Wow, look at that, a new Pokemon. Your Pokedex registers this Pokemon as Snooze, the sleepy Pokemon, and it comes out of the Pokeball while in a state of sleep. Its new Sweet Dreams ability means that while asleep, its attacks do 2 times their usual damage, but it's just a normal type, and apparently you can find them by headbutting trees back in Trickletown. The Pokedex says that these Pokemon use their arms to dangle from trees, enjoying tranquility and peace. They only climb down to cuddle up to trainers who take a nap under the tree branches.
Use Snore Attack, Snooze!
A nice attack, but nothing I expect your starter can't handle.
Whoa, you're good enough to be a champion or something. What the heck?
That's it. We should head back to Rumbletown. Listen up, trainer. We're not your enemy.
Yeah, whatever you heard of Team Snooze is wrong. We're the good guys just down for a good time and some R&R.
We're just surveying the island. When we find the perfect vacation spot, we can finally fulfill our dream. Like I promised you, Mello.
Oh, Crash, you really mean?
That's right. Snoozeland, the ultimate holiday and resort. Let's get out of here, Mello. Leave this snoozer to it.
Snoozer like loser?
Yeah.
But we're snoozers.
Oh, I'll have to sleep on that, maybe come up with a new catchphrase. Later, winner.
Well, I'm sure glad that's over with. I wonder who they were running from in the first place. As you head through the rest of the passage, I'm sure there are other trainers to battle and train against, but eventually you'll exit the passage to the north side of Route 1. Now, while searching in the tall grass, there are 2 more wild Pokemon that you can find here, but only at nighttime. See, in the day, Capon can be found here, but at night, Hoot wake up and appear more frequently. However, on a rare occasion, you might find an incredible new Pokemon with really bulky stats for this stage, and that is the Pokemon Corviknight. Corviknight is a ghost flying type and is the Skull Raven Pokemon. Tales say that this Pokemon flies across the island carrying messages of the departed. It's incredibly intelligent and understands the contents of the letters it travels by seeing the look on the reader's face. It's a very loyal Pokemon, and with its wing attack and ominous wind, a Pokemon like this will be a valuable asset to any trainer's team. And I'll give you a hint, it'll be very useful against the first gym if you luck into catching one.
Well, hello there! I say, what a way you battle! I saw you in the cave. You must be the champion from off the island. Tell me, how is she? The ocean, the outside world. Have you ever been to my home region of Norclo? Excuse me, I'm getting ahead of myself. My name is Professor Lawrence, and I live here and study the local Pokemon wildlife. But like you, I'm from another region altogether. I say, just thinking of the soft snowfall of Norclo, the northern breeze, mining into some glaciers and finding fossils, it sends a chill of excitement up my spine. But I came here on only a short expedition, you see, but when the last Tempest started, I was stranded. I had no choice but to put down some roots here, and I've been studying with Professor Dodona ever since. 10 years it's been, and now he sends you to me as I asked. Hurrah! But first, please honor me, won't you, with a battle?
And here he comes. It's Professor Lawrence himself, leading with one of his own Pokemon, Snubbull. You've probably battled this Pokemon before in the Olympia passage, so battling this one and taking it down won't give you too much trouble. However, once you dispatch that, he has another new Pokemon to show you.
Go, Hermite!
This is Hermite, the homeless spirit Pokemon. Hermite are born looking to find a home. It likes to tuck itself away under pebbles and rocks, and it's never truly satisfied until it finds the sturdiest pebble to hide in. They are said to love ancient Pokemon burial grounds, and of course they carry both the ghost and rock type. Your Pokedex indicates that Hermite can't be found though until much later on, so this is just going to be a brief encounter.
Hermite, use Astonish!
With basic ghost and rock moves coming your way, you should be prepared to keep type advantages in mind. Even if you picked up a Cyrox in the cave, its fighting moves will be negated by Hermite's ghost typing, so abilities and status moves might be the way to go here.
I say, what a sprightly young trainer. Now that's true skill. I haven't battled like that since I was a gym leader. Thank you for putting on a good show. At this point, I'd love to award you with a badge, but that's not my place, you see. Besides, there are no gym badges on this island anyway. Regardless, I'm working to take over from Professor Dodona when he goes traveling the Pokemon world. But, dear champion, I have something to ask of you, a favor. You see this mountain we stand below? This is Mount Solympia. At the top sits this region's Pokemon League, and it's run by quite the strong and enigmatic fellow. They call him the Will of the Island. Quite the title, I say, and to earn his affection may be to win the island over, to show them the beauty of how we outsiders battle. The Solympians, you see, have always been, cautious of off-islanders. I dream to show that we're not all that bad, and that we bring hope, and to share our knowledge of the world outside. But alas, I was clumsy when I first arrived here, and now my Snebble from Norclo has overpopulated in the local Solympian passage, and for many, those first impressions last. But you're a fresh face, and I can see that you are kind and good. If you took on the Pokemon League and obtained all of the gym coins, you could take on this Will of the Island and show them what we outsiders are all about. Open them up to the rest of the world. Will you do it? Will you take him on and win over the Will of the Island? Hurrah! Of course you would say yes. But to the point. To challenge this champion, you must summit Mount Solympia with the gym badges, coins of the region that they use here. Most regions there are 8 gym badges, but here in Solympia it's hard to say if they've truly adopted the tradition. I know for sure though that there is one gym leader living in Rumbletown to the east of here. It's just a short walk, but I warn you, that one's a meanie. They're certainly not too fond of me. Go, challenge the gym, win the coin, and meet me back at Dodona's lab when you have it. Then, we'll really see if you have what it takes. Cheerio!
Well, there you have it. That was Professor Lawrence, and he has a bit of a mission for you. One I expect you're probably interested in. Traveling around a whole new region, catching never before seen Pokemon, training and proving that you are a Pokemon master. And that journey starts you off in Rumbletown. Rumbletown is the first major city in the region, a long, narrow corridor of high-rise buildings and houses, Pokemarts and a Pokemon Center, and at its heart, a Pokemon gym.
Hey, stop that Pokemon! Excuse me, trainer, I'm sorry about that. Your headgear, your jacket, you wouldn't happen to be... I see. So you're the champion everyone's been talking about. The name's Moxie, and I'm the gym leader of Rumbletown. The title of champion might seem intimidating to some, but me, I've been a Pokemon trainer, hunter, and even a Pokemon ranger. You heard right, I've been around the block, and I'm pretty sure me and my team could take you in a fair fight. Nowadays, I'm a gym leader, and it's my duty to make sure the wild Pokemon of this town and the surrounding areas are safe and undisturbed. You tourists sure aren't making that easy either, so tell you what, I'm going to escort this little fella down to the beach, and when I get back, I'll see you in the gym for a battle. How does that sound? See ya.
Huh, so they're the gym leader, huh? A gym battle certainly would be up your street, but before that, there are plenty of wild Pokemon living in Rumbletown. If you look around the city, you may see the occasional garbage bag move. This is because Trubbish can be found here in Rumbletown, and makes for the only Unnovan Pokemon to migrate to the island. You might also find a shady Houndour down a back alley or two if you're looking to complete your Pokedex, and I'd suggest picking one up. Who knows what they might evolve into? But for the new Pokemon, you're gonna have to follow Moxie to Rumbleton Beach. And here we are. It's only a short walk over to the beach side, and the houses really seem to be built right up to the shoreline. Despite that, some tall grass is breaking through the ground. This is less like a beach and more like the earth just sorts of, well, ends here. An enthusiastic fisherman might get chatting to you and offer you the old rod for you to sit down on the rickety dock with him for a spot of Pokemon fishing. In fact, it looks like you might land something. This is a new Pokemon. You're reeling it in now. First up, we have Serasurf, the Sea Angel Pokemon. This Pokemon can hold bubbles of air around its neck, allowing it to rise out of the water and skim over the water's edge. It's a water fairy type and knows moves like Bubble and Draining Kiss at low level, but eventually can learn Bubble Beam and Dazzling Gleam, so it certainly would be a charming addition to the team. If you're really lucky, however, you might reel in a Temphin. Temphin is the Hothead Pokemon, and this unique fire-water type has an incredible power. It can fire spitballs of either fire or water depending on which gland it uses. Because this Pokemon is so warm, the water around it heats up, forcing most wild fish Pokemon to swim away from it. And that makes it angry and kinda sad, so maybe adding one to your team would certainly cheer it up. If you stop fishing, you're going to notice a couple of other Pokemon. Psyduck, of course, can be found at the shoreline, but so too can Aron, living a little closer to the mountainside than the water, but it's just kind of strange that they're here. There's also another little fella who's come down from the mountain, attracted by the city's electricity pylons. This is Go-Gopher, and this speedy little electric steel type is the grounding Pokemon. Go-Gopher burrows underground and can cause havoc on wiring. It loves nothing more than lightning storms, and it's said that when they do happen, lightning will always be drawn to the spot in the ground where this Pokemon hibernates. And of course, as you can tell just by looking at it, this is a relative of the Pikachu line. So what do you think? Have you added any new Pokemon to your team? If you have, you should keep me up to date in the comments with where your Solympia team is at. Tell me, tell everyone, tell these two. It's oh no. It's them again.
Hey you, stop catching Pokemon around here, would you?
Can't you see we're just trying to enjoy a lovely day at the beach together?
Yeah, but you're in our sunlight, It's you again.
Yeah, well, we lost to you once in the passage, but we've healed our Pokemon since last time, so get ready. It's time to go to town.
You're up. Slack off.
All right, wakey, Munchlax.
Their team hasn't changed at all since before, and what can I say? You know what you're doing. Being two normal types, if you do have any fighting moves on your team, they'll be super useful to dispatch of these Pokemon swiftly.
I see you understand type advantage. Well, let's try a dual type. Hoot Hoot, you're up.
Come on out, Snooze.
More of the same. Hoot might provide a challenge here, but this really isn't a battle. This is warm-up, and between them and the local trainers, you've been doing really well.
Again?
An easy battle. In fact, some of your Pokemon look like they're getting ready to evolve. Well, would you look at that? If you caught a Barbug, it's evolved into Hiphopper, the Hopjaw Pokemon. It's changed from a Bug Poison type to a Bug Steel type. Quite the radical change, but the Pokedex tells you that by studying other Cocoon Pokemon, we learned this Pokemon is actually in a Cocoon-like state. The jaws are relatively immobile, and they're used more to just ward off enemies than actually fight them. As a final escape, they can hop high into the air to get away from predators. Typically, they'll land on their head, but the Pokemon evolving inside is inside a sturdy cocoon body, and it's very safe. And look, it's not just Barbug that's evolving. If you caught one on Route 1, then your Capon is ready to evolve. Evolve into Scraptor, the scrappy Pokemon, and depending on if it's male or female, it'll have one of two different forms. The male Scraptor takes on the display form. This version uses martial arts to make beautiful displays to attract mates. All of the Scraptor look very similar amongst their own species, so their martial arts need to be top-notch to get noticed. Meanwhile, the female Scraptor are the protectors of the family. It'll defend its nest furiously until its eggs hatch, at which point it will go hunt for prey frantically, while the male teaches the chick how to kick. These Pokemon are both flying and fighting type with slightly different stats and move pools. The males having more physical moves at the high levels like high jump kick and sky attack, and the females are more of a special attacker, later knowing Hurricane and Aura Sphere.
What? That's so unreal. If we evolved our Pokemon, you wouldn't stand a chance. Next time you see us, we'll be fully prepared.
Yeah, you snoozer loser.
But they won.
Oh yeah. Next time, we'll put you down for nap time.
Hey, nice going. I was watching from the docks. The Psyducks are all back safe and sound. It seems like they were scared off by those snooze grunts, or maybe it was these Aeron that have been appearing. You see out there, the ocean. People like myself travel from all over the world to make a place like this home. It's a shame that we all have different ideas of what home could be. Even the Pokemon have to work it out. What to do when the Psyduck and the Aeron fight for space on the beach? Whose home is it? Both of theirs? Or does one not belong? The Psyduck have lived here longer, but then I haven't spent my whole life here and people have accepted Rumbletown as my home. You know what? You might be alright, champion. Heal up your Pokemon at the Pokemon Center. Once you've rested your team, I'll be waiting at the Pokemon Gym. I'll take your opinion of the matter after we battle. See ya. I'll be waiting.
And just like that, Moxie has gone. Rumbletown's beach is a much calmer place, and you are about to take on your first Pokemon gym battle here in the Solympia region. You wonder about what type of gym leader you think Moxie really is, and as you turn your back and look out on the city, you hear a cry from the ocean. What in the world was that? Maybe you'll get to find out one day, but not today. For now, all there is to do is to head to the Pokemon Center, heal up your team, and get ready for your first Pokemon gym battle.
At the center of Rumbletown, there stands the gym, out the front of which is a sort of pit where ruffian trainers like to battle, putting their Pokemon through scraping and scrapping matches with Pokemon like Snabble and Scraptor. As you head into the dome of the gym, it's a relatively standard stadium, and Moxie is there, ready to greet you with 2 Pokeballs in hand.
Well, hey there, champion. I see you're all rested up and ready for a fight. Allow me to introduce myself formally. I am Moxie, the Rumbletown City Gym Leader. When I was young, I went traveling on a Pokemon adventure just like you. I fell in with a bad crowd and became a fierce Pokemon hunter. Life has many twists and turns, and soon I was helping those in need as a well-known Pokemon Ranger. Now I'm here a resident of Solympia. It has long been this one's home, and I've spent this last Tempest looking after the Pokemon in Rumbletown. It's been difficult, given that Awful from Norclo brought Snubble into the area. Don't people understand you can't just release a new Pokemon species into the wild? Anyway, I'm getting away from myself. I know why you're here, champion. Because the outside world has something to say, right? Well then, draw out your Pokeballs. Let's hear it. Cyrox, I choose you!
Moxie's first Pokemon is Cyrox, and this Pokemon is Rock Fighting type, so I'm still not 100% sure what the gym type is. However, for a first gym, this is a real uphill battle. If you chose Kingfisher, then it's got elements that are both strong and weak to Rock, but it does have an edge against the Fighting type. N-Ball, sadly, is at disadvantage, so that's a test for a real champion, and Twiguana has an advantage over the Rock, but won't keep its advantage for long in this battle. Using the correct types, attacks, and knowing your opponent's defensive strategies is going to be important to win. And don't forget any of the other Pokemon who have become your companions along the way over the last few episodes. This is a 2-on-2 battle, so put your best 2 forward.
Take that!
You may need to switch and use potions. Of course, if you manage to evolve your Capon into a Scraptor, you can smash the Cyrox to pieces. This is a challenge to be sure, but for every Pokemon currently available to you, there will be some sort of advantage and some level of disadvantage. Play the types well though, and you might just take down her Cyrox.
Ah, my Cyrox! Fine, we're just getting warmed up. Go Aerodent!
Ah! This next Pokemon is Aerodent, the fighter pilot Pokemon, and the evolved form of Rataru. This fighting flying type jumps up high and uses the winds to travel great distances on the island. It never fails a landing on its powerful feet, and with that, its new ability Happy Landing means that high jump kick, bounce, and fly never miss. This is her ace Pokemon, and being a fighting flying type once again is a tricky type combo. Twiguana is now at type disadvantage, N-Ball continues to be neutral, but with the ability to burn, luring those physical moves, that might be useful, and Kingfisher takes advantage in this round, using its flying move to take on the fighting type. This combined with the other Pokemon you've been training should put you in a position to make your way to victory.
Wow, I guess you really are that strong. Congratulations, trainer. Let me award you with your first official coin here in Solympia. Oh, what's that? You were expecting a badge? Oh, no, I used to collect those too, but this is the way of Solympia. These coins are beyond ordinary value. With all of them from the League Challenge, you can take them to the summit of Mount Solympia for a chance to challenge the champion. There are 6, or was it 7, or 8? Honestly, the champion keeps us guessing, but right now you just have one. You should be proud enough of that. I'll also reward you with the ability to cut down trees. If any of your fighting Pokemon come across them, they can cut them down and you'll be able to make your way through the thick forest. Sadly, without Surf, there's not much you can explore on this side of the island. But if you're looking for a way back to Trickletown, you can take the Scenic Route 3. It starts on Rumbletown Beach and will lead you right back to where you started. Just head round the coastline sticking to the old dock. You'll make your way back. Good luck out there, Challenger. Our battle meant a lot to me today. I'll never forget this battle.
And just like that, you have your first Pokemon coin. Blimey, your starter's grown stronger too. They look super close to evolving, but you might just have to wait a little longer for that. Sure enough, for now though, we're leaving the gym and you're gonna head off to Route 3. And wow, what an interesting route. It seems this whole area used to be a port, but now it's just a cliffside walkway with rickety bridges and various winding pathways to take. Still, it seems like it could be home for some new Pokemon. On this route, you'll find the recurring Pokemon Psyduck and Munchlax like before, as well as possibly your last opportunity to catch Capon and Gopher. But there's still one more wild Pokemon that can be found exclusively on this route. This is Popoil, the balloon Pokemon. The Pokedex says that this Pokemon can inflate itself and fly surprisingly high into the atmosphere. It's a flying water type like Kingfisher. However, I'd keep it away from your Kingfisher if you have one, because the Pokedex also says that Kingfisher love to eat them. It's sadly quite a weak Pokemon and hard to level up at this part of the story, but if you do get one, I'm sure it'll have a cool evolution waiting. And isn't it great to see your team filling up? In fact, if you're training at a typical kind of pace and you're catching everything, then you'll have registered around 25 different Pokemon into your Pokedex. Let me know who you would have had to add into your team in the comments. Maybe one day you'll even see a legendary Pokemon. Whoa, hold on! What in the world was that? Did I speak too soon?
Oh hey, little champ! What are you doing? Standing there gawking, the wind blowing your stupid hair all over the place? If I controlled the power of the wind, I'd blow you far away from my island and into the sea right now. I heard you got Moxie's coin? Well, I got there before you. I looked up to Moxie for a long time. They visited and given talks at the trainer school sometimes. A true and noble Solympian. What are you talking about? Someone as cool as Moxie wouldn't be a stormer like you. That's it. I'm going to show you everything I learned from studying with them, right now.
Well, it looks like Cass wants to challenge you, and who would you be to decline?
Let's battle. Go, Houndour!
Cass's first Pokemon is Houndour, and at this point in the journey, you should have lots of super effective moves against it. So this Houndour is really just to get you warmed up.
Ugh, fine. I choose you, Hip Hopper!
Ah, it's Hip Hopper. It seems Cass's journey hasn't been too dissimilar to your own, evolving Pokemon and training up.
That does it. You think you're better than me, but I'm way ahead of you when it comes to coins. See? I already have one more than you. I got it on Route 2 when I was training up, and I've evolved my Pokemon into something you've never seen. Go, Felraptor!
Whoa, now that's something different. This isn't a Scraptor like you would have expected. Cass's Capon has instead evolved into, well, whatever this is. It's a Foulraptor, the foul Pokemon, and it's a flying poison type and can spit toxic at you while delivering a powerful new move called Poison Peck. This is like your regular Peck attack, except it does additional damage if your Pokemon is poisoned. The Pokedex tells you that not much is known about why some Capon seem to evolve this way, and further research needs to be done. But what does that matter to you? You're in the heat of battle. It's time to implement some new strategies and deal with Cass's Pokemon.
Fine. I'll take this for the lesson that it is. It'll only make me stronger. Next time I'm at a coast like this, I swear my Pokemon and I will be throwing you back into the sea, Stormer.
Unbelievable. Your Pokemon were able to defeat Cass's newly evolved Pokemon, and what's more unbelievable is that your starter Pokemon, well, it looks like they're about to evolve.
Tuiguana, Emble, and Kingfisher are all evolving into their first stage evolution. Well, would you look at that? Tuiguana has evolved into Guanagoon, the Goonish Pokemon, and is now a grass rock type. What looks like rocks and even a little bit of diamond jetting out of its head and claw, these Pokemon don't mess around. They've been known amongst grass types for being a bit of a bully, and they crash their heads together in a display of strength. Their diamond nail can cut through just about anything. A cool Pokemon, and I can't wait to see what it evolves into. And this is great if you picked Tuiguana, but what about if you picked Emble? Congratulations! It looks like Emble has evolved into Brazian and gained the ground typing, making it Fire Ground. This Pokemon is the Fire Belly Pokemon and has gotten so hot that it needs to wallow in mud to keep itself cool. This mud then hardens and becomes part of its biology. If this Pokemon can't cool down, black smoke will billow from its nose and the vents in its body, letting out a screeching noise. A very nice addition to the team. And of course, for those of you who chose Kinfisher, finally, congratulations! Kinfisher has evolved into Heronin. This water flying type is the swordplay Pokemon and is practiced in the art of sword dancing. It uses its beak to challenge others of its kind to battle. It practices its precision and balance by focusing on falling raindrops and aiming to slice them in half. As the wind swirls around you, you and your partner Pokemon jump for joy, and you're elated to add this evolution to your team.
Whatever. Even with your evolved Pokemon, you still won't win against me next time we battle. Losing 3 times in a row wouldn't make me much of a rival at all. Just wait. Next battle we have like this, my Pokemon and I will be throwing you right back into the sea where you belong, Stormer.
Cass!
Professor?
Ah, so it is you. I see you're showing our guest back to Trickletown. How very kind of you. Come, the both of you. There's a breeze coming along. Let me escort you back to my lab. Cass, you remember my colleague, Professor Lawrence? And Champion, I believe you've had the chance to meet too.
Ho, indeed. I say, how'd things go with that Moxie? Did you get into a spot of trouble? Seems nice, you say? Hardly my experience. I see you helped them rid the beach of some members of, Team Snooze? I met them in the Olympia passage. I say, I don't think we have those in Norclo. Who exactly are Team Snooze? They were once a powerful evil organization dedicated to, I say, taking naps. Good grief. It sounds quite preposterous. But it would seem that they're no longer a threat these days.
You know, professors, I've seen plenty of people like that, wearing their robes and showing up at the docks these past few months. I don't think we could discount them as a threat just yet.
Indeed. All things should be treated with caution. I say, when I first came here, I made the mistake of letting loose my Snebble into the wild. I suspect the Rattaroo population have struggled in part for that. I'm awfully sorry.
All things change. Some for the worse, some for the better. The apology for the Pokemon is appreciated by them, but your research has helped many Pokemon here on the island, my friend.
Oh, Professor, I have so much to learn from you still. It's like you have a third eye when it comes to Pokemon. You see things that no one else does. Earlier, he told me that he sent something down on Route 3, and look, he was right. He came back with both of you. Tell me then, do you both have a gym coin?
I have 2, actually.
Wow. Right you are, Cass. And the champion has only 1. Ha! Well, I see you must have gone via Route 2 and battled the gym leader Chlora. I see. Well, champion, did you realize you were running behind on coins? You didn't even think it was a race? When 2 people just like you who care about Pokemon go off on a journey and begin at the same time, of course it's a race. A rivalry through and through.
A rivalry? With a champion?
I don't suppose you've had a chance to meet our champion yet. You should head to Aetheron City. I hear right now he's visiting the Pokeacropolis. You should go. You'll pass through the Elderwoods on the way, where you can acquire your second gym coin. It's only right that champions new and old should meet.
And future.
That's the spirit. Rest up here, and then in the evening on to Route 2 and the Elderwood Forest. I say, hurrah!
Well, the day has begun and you're continuing on your journey. At this point, you can, if one of your teammates knows Headbutt, catch the only wild Pokemon in Trickletown, and that is Team Snooze's ace, Snooze, a normal type, and who knows what it'll evolve into. For now, you're leaving out of Trickletown, this time to the west by way of Route 2. There are no new Pokemon on this route, though you'll likely encounter some familiar faces. Barbug, Pikachu, Ratteroo, and Slackoth are all available to you here. And while of course none of those are new Pokemon, it's still great to just catch Pokemon if you're trying to fill out your Pokedex and of course regional decks. Who knows how some of these Pokemon might evolve? Wink wink. Route 2 is relatively short, and the only thing to note is an old broken well, on top of which sits meditating a very peculiar looking character.
Well, hello there, star in the making. Yep, you're a star. I know one when I see one. Oh, you don't recognize me? You're not from around these parts at all, are you? Well, allow me to welcome you to Solympia. I say, how do you like it here? The climate is perfect, and the Pikachu on this route are super cool. Did you know here in Solympia, the Pikachu only evolve into a psychic type? A Solympian Raichu. Though, I've heard it called the Alolan Raichu too. All just a matter of perspective, I suppose. As we discover more about the Pokemon world, we discover all sorts of things about regional variation, evolution, and forms. But I digress, oh listen to me ramble.
The man hands you some Pokeballs and the Alolan specialty, Big Malasada.
Say, I like you. Why don't you take this?
It's a coconut? Okay, this guy is cocoa nuts, it seems. Still, there is a special feeling you have about it, so you put it in your bag ready for later.
I found that in the Elderwood Forest after waking up there. I saved it from a tree that was being cut down. Looks like they are planning to build a small town in the forest soon. Such a shame to lose such beautiful trees. Still, less trees means less creepy crawlies. Oh, you'll see. Anyways, I've taken up enough of your time. Maybe I'll see you again someday.
Strange to say the least. You set back along the path, and stranger still is the giant forest in front of you, exuding a sort of fairy aura about it. There's something certainly very mystical about this place. The Elderwood Forest is simply more like a jungle, taking up a large portion of the island. In fact, it's so big, it's divided into two sections. There's the part of this forest that you're in now, and before leaving, Professor Dodona will have mentioned to you that there's a little village that's said to be within these woods on your way to Aetheron City. The second part of the Elderwoods is the Deep Elderwoods, which seems to only be accessible by a river that runs through the forest to the sea. It seems likely that your journey will bring you back here later. For now though, focus up. New Pokemon are appearing and there's a lot of them. Wow, this Pokemon is Merion, the fake child Pokemon. Researchers know this Pokemon is born in forests, but no one has ever seen one hatch in the wild. Often their laughs are said to resemble the chatter of children. Creepy. This Pokemon is a grass and dark type, and if you didn't choose a grass starter, this will make for an excellent addition to the team. But it's not the only Pokemon lurking in these woods. Next up, we have a new bug Pokemon. This bug type is called Salivite, the salivating Pokemon, and it's an unusual Pokemon, said to exceed what evolution should be capable of. They say 90% of its biology resides within its head, with the rest of its body being a sort of exoskeleton. It's said to be incredibly fast, and it's always zipping around the forest, jumping in and out of trees. It hangs upside down and uses its tongue to navigate around the barbs of Barbug as it preys on them. If you catch one, I'm sure we'll find out why it is the Pokemon that is able to exceed evolution. And of course, there are other Pokemon that you're familiar with in the forest. Both Barbug and its evolution Hiphopper can be found here in the wild, as well as Slackoth and Pikachu. And naturally, this forest is also home to wild Tangela that also roam the woodlands. But they might not be immediately noticeable, and as you enter the Elderwoods Forest, I'd strongly recommend that you check behind every bush, in every blade of long grass, and of course, on every tree. Look, this tree is turning around and talking to you?
Oh, excuse me. I think that's my hair you're tangled up in. I'm not a Pokemon, though. I wish I was. Isn't this forest beautiful? I don't know if you noticed on your way here, but there are empty areas where trees are being cut down. I believe they call it deforestation? It seems sad. The homes of Pokemon being destroyed just for new homes to be built. You see, the Tempest mean that people who are just visitors are stuck on the island with nowhere to go, and over the years the forest has gotten smaller and smaller to accommodate. Then again, I am a human and I live here in the Elderwoods. My family has lived here for generations in the Elderwood village, so how are we any different? Just because we've been here for a long time? All I know is that if I wish to call these woods my home, I must do them and the Forest Guardian proud. Oh, excuse me, I forgot you were standing there. I got carried away. Would you like to see my village? I should show you the way. Come on, don't just stand there. Follow me.
Oh, okay.
She seems nice, but don't let her, out of your sight. Oh, her green hair blends in with the forest. You saw her head in the direction of the bridge that crosses the river, but she's totally gone now. You might as well head over that way. As you explore the Elderwoods, you feel a sense of aliveness about the forest. You weren't expecting people to be here, so now you have the feeling that you're kind of always being watched. In front of you, there is a bridge crossing over some water that seems to leave the forest completely and runs out to the sea. Suddenly, as you cross the bridge, you notice movement in the water and catch a glimpse at the very first ever Solympian regional variant. Raising its head out of the water amongst the grasses and mosses of the river is the water grass type Solympian Lapras. This Lapras swims in a much warmer body of water, so it doesn't have a hard shell like its counterparts across the world. It doesn't need to stay warm that way. Instead, it's covered with plant life and uses photosynthesis to keep itself going. And alongside its regular water moves, it'll lose a lot of its ice type moves, but instead has access to things like Vine Whip and Energy Ball. But you actually can't get down to it right now. It's impossible for you to catch as it's in the river down below the bridge where you are, and you don't have access to that river. This might be a Pokemon you have to encounter properly later on in your journey. Still, it's a promise of regional variation and things to come. As you stand on the bridge and look upstream deeper into the forest, you notice a small shrine on a little island in the middle of the forest. It's a simple design made of stone and covered in moss, and as you stare at it, the Lapras begin to duck their heads under the water and swim away. Why are they leaving? A wind rushes through the forest. Leaves and forestation begin to swirl around you. They lift into the air and begin to take shape across the bridge. A face of stone and wood stares at you, being held up by nothing but the wind. What is this? A Pokemon?
Gionis, is that really you? Oh no, don't go! Oh no, it's gone, but it was here. You saw it, didn't you? Gionis, a legendary Pokemon, one of the primordial spirits. They live here on the island. They're protectors. That's what my grandmother taught me. This forest, perhaps all the forests of the world exist because Gionis carried seeds on its wind and scattered them across the earth. How amazing. I see it so rarely. Why today? Who are you? A champion, huh? I'm pretty sure there's only one champion on this island and you're much shorter than he is. Me? Oh my, we've been talking all this time and I haven't even told you my name. I'm Clara, the gym leader of the Elderwood village. Speaking of which, you must be getting tired. Let me show you to my home. I'll walk a bit slower this time, I promise. So you're a champion from another region, you say? Of course, I keep forgetting the Tempest is over. For us in the Elderwoods, we exist away from outsiders. If you think of Solympia as the eye of the storm, then the Elderwoods is the eye of the storm, or something like that. No, that's not right. The pupil of the eye of the storm. Yeah, that's better. So thank you for catching me up. Here in this village, we have everything we need. Fresh water, we farm our own food. The few families that live here live a calm life, at one with the Pokemon around us. We give thanks to Gionis and take care of the travelers passing through, but we really have no interest in the outside world, Tempest or not. A gym battle? Of course! I haven't kept up to date with the Pokemon League situation as such, but I still have a drawer filled with League coins to give out. I gave one out just this week, actually. I'll happily battle you. There's no time like the present, so how about right now? Okay then, get ready to face off against my little village helpers. Go, Tangler!
Okay, so very clearly this is a grass-type gym, and you're just doing this now. Clara is a peculiar gym leader to be sure, but she seems enthusiastic enough. In fact, you should probably send something out to counter her Tangler. If you chose Ember or Kinfisher as a starter, your Brazian or Heronin should both be able to have super effective moves here. Either that or any of the regional birds or bugs will give you a nice advantage.
Those are some good moves, but you've never seen a Pokemon like this before. Go, Vigoroth!
And here comes a grass normal type Vigoroth, and this is a Solympian Vigoroth that live deep in tropical forests and jungles. They're said to be as lazy as their pre-evolution, with a slower pace of living that means that they've evolved to be calmer than their regional counterparts, with some moves like Grassy Glide and Leaf Blade ready to hit hard for some big grass damage.
Kick some grass, Vigoroth. Wow, very impressive. But have you seen this Pokemon? Go, Togetic!
Another regional variant, and wow, look at this. This Togetic wears a coconut instead of an eggshell. Is it possible that the coconut you got given earlier by that stranger could hatch into a regional Togepi? Very cool.
They say the eggs of this Pokemon only appear before kind-hearted people, so I'm flattered I get to train one. Use Leaf Storm! My Togetic! Very good. Very impressive. You really must be a champion.
You did it! You won!
Well, there you have it. You beat me. And if I remember the tradition correctly, that only means one thing. I have to award you with the coin of the Elderwood Gym. Keep it close as proof you've beaten me. I'm sure our champion will be very impressed. In fact, if you head north through the Elderwood, you'll be on the road to Aetheron City, the largest city in the region. The champion can sometimes be found studying at the Citadel or battling at the Pokebliss. I'm sure he'd love to meet you. Of course, you're welcome to stay the night here too.
And there you have it, an interesting time wandering through the woods. Still, I hope you had a good time. This is merely a pit stop on your big region-wide journey, and now at least you have as many coins as Cass. Huh? But what's this? It's like Laura said, for those who want to keep it in your party, the coconut did in fact turn out to be an egg for a Solympian form of Togepi, a grass fairy Pokemon. According to your Pokedex, if a coconut falls out of a tree and lands on your head and you don't feel any pain, it's the egg of a Togepi. Amazing, this is just one more Pokemon you can add to your team. And it won't be the last regional variant, for new regional forms and Pokemon await.
Let's just take a quick break to reflect on everything that's happened so far.
How are you enjoying your travels, champion? 2 gyms down and a whole host of new Pokemon potentially in your team. I'd love to see what kind of team you've built in the comments sometime, but you might want to keep a spare Pokeball handy and ready to swap out for a new teammate when you get to Aetheron City. In Aetheron City, there is said to be a huge stadium called the Pokebliss, and according to Professor Dodona, this is where trainers can challenge to become gym leaders, and gym leaders for the chance themselves to become Elite Four members. And it's possible that it's here that we might get to meet the region's mysterious champion.
It's only right that champions new and old should meet.
And future.
But before that, we should have a short walk up through the thinning woods, through Route 4, a straight line route situated between the cliff edge to the west and the walls of Mount Solympia to the east. And on this route, there are a few more wild Pokemon that can be found. Wild Ponyta trot around, but they don't do so alone. This Pokemon is Galullaby, the ground fairy type unearthly Pokemon. It bounds around the cliff sides at absolutely no risk of falling off. Its large eyes see every crevice, and it knows exactly how to land. This Pokemon would make a fantastic addition to the team. Lots of Pokemon like Abra and Impidimp also hide behind big trees, with the occasional Morgrem hanging from the branches. Honedge can also be found scattered between the trees, and it's thought that they have a regional evolution here in Solympia. The final Pokemon though that you might encounter on this route is Kyagus. They can be found slowly scaling trees, and these Pokemon are a poison psychic type and actually aren't from Solympia at all, but instead originate from the Cascade region. If you ever leave this island and find researching Professor Loxton, he'll know more about it for sure. Let me know if you've decided to add one or any of these pre-existing Pokemon to your team. Still, it's not long before you make your way through Route 4 and find yourself at the Great Gateway of Aetheron City. Welcome, champion. This is the biggest city in the region and is filled with a bustling marketplace, taverns, and restaurants. This town is kinda stuck somewhere between modern and medieval. In the center of it all, of course, is a Colosseum, the Pokebliss, a huge building that will absolutely be your first stop. But hold up a moment, because did that statue just move? That gargoyle just... Oh no, don't blink.
Whoa, you've just been attacked by a Solympian Drodagon. This rock dragon still has the rough skin ability, and it attacks anyone invading the castles it calls home. Locally, they're known as Druidigoyle, and they can be seen sitting on the walls lining Aetheron City, and they'll challenge each and every person who wants to enter this city. Luckily, you have some Pokemon on your own team ready to take it on, so why not bring out a starter?
Wow, that Pokemon trainer is good. Yeah, maybe we'll watch them battle in the Pokeacropolis sometime.
Against Aria? Are you joking? They wouldn't stand a chance.
She's so amazing. I love her.
Wow, it seems like everyone's talking about the gym leader. Look, these two people here are chatting about her too. They're oh no.
Aria is the woman of my dreams.
Oh, I see.
I mean, I had a dream about her, and it was an absolute nightmare.
If you say so, Crash. Are you sure you weren't away with the fairies daydreaming about her?
Hey, look, it's that kid from before. Did you really hear all that? How embarrassing. Well, it'll be you who's embarrassed next. Our Pokemon have come a long way since we last battled, so watch out. Come on, Mello, let's crash this punk for Snooze Land. Go, slack off.
Okay, a slack off. We've been here before. This isn't much of a challenge. Surely they'll have something new.
All right, Snorlax, it's time to eat.
Whoa, just like that. Now that is a challenge. Probably the hugest HP Pokemon that you'll have to face at this point. It looks like you'll have to be awake on the job if you want to beat this Pokemon.
Whoa, you can even beat a Snorlax? Fine then. I bet you've never faced this before. Let's go, Papa.
Now this Pokemon is Pupuff, and it's a Pokemon actually of the Norclo region, the puppy Pokemon. It's a fairy type, and it's a Pokemon that can truly blow away the competition.
Aw, you beat that too?
You leave Mello alone. This is no time to hang around. Go Slumber!
This is Slumber, the evolved form of Snooze. They say to fall asleep in its arms is the most comfortable experience and leads to only the sweetest of dreams. It's a normal type Pokemon and continues with Snooze's Sweet Dreams ability.
Wow. Beaten again? What are we, some kind of hurdle set to test your strength with no triumphs of our own?
Yeah, feels like bad writing to me.
Yeah, we're totally not some poorly written 2D characters.
Wait, Crash, you have more than 2 dimensions?
I know things. See, this city is the biggest on the island. Most of the cities on this island are coastal, so they've all been turned to ports at some point or another. And this city was at one time the biggest.
You've been reading up.
Yeah, a little. If Team Snooze is truly to start up Snooze Land, the ultimate dream resort location, we need to know everything about this island.
Whoa, Crash, I'm impressed.
Oh, well, did you know there are more Pokemon from other regions here in this town than any other? That must be because of all the travelers who have come through here.
All right, know-it-all, calm down, you might tire yourself out.
Yeah, I need a nap. Oh, you're still here. If you're planning to head to Pokeacropolis, you should probably heal up at the Pokemon Center. Good luck. Later.
Huh, they seem friendly, in a good mood. Still, I guess it's nice to get the chance to wander about the city. And they're right, as you travel about the city, you might get the chance to encounter even more Pokemon from all over the place. In fact, as well as the aforementioned Druidigon, which is typically from the Unova region, there are also wild Pupuff from Norclo, as well as Pokemon from 2 other regions. Well, would you look at that? A Cascadian Yanma. And just like Kyagus, the Yanma here take the same form that they do in the Cascade region. Perhaps imported from Cascade at some point in the past, this bug dragon type will be the first dragon on your team, if you choose to get it. And for those of you less learned in Professor Lockston's research, its evolution will be a nice surprise. And there's one more Pokemon, but this one is from the Ascent region. This is Cloud9, and it's a psychic fire type that's able to offer all of those who look into its fire incredible visions. It is said that an ancient sorcerer traveled to Ascent and brought it here to Solympia to use its magic for evil, but the Cloud9 couldn't be controlled and cursed the sorcerer with dark visions. Now they can be found entertaining in the streets of Aetheron. Perhaps Professor TrueGreen7 knows more about this Pokemon.
Look at you, catching Pokemon from across the world. You really are a traveled trainer, champion.
Is this the champion? Odius, is this the one? Hi, lovely to meet you. My name is Aria. I am the gym leader for Aetheron Aetheron City. I look after the Pokebliss as a gym when it's not being used to challenge gym leaders and the Elite Four members for their titles. Not that that's happened in a while, but one day I'm going to take on Sid, or Valkyrie, or one of the others, and become a member of the Elite Four. Maybe I'll even beat Kelvin. What do you think of that, champ?
Me?
Of course you! Who else would I? Oh, of course. I am in the presence of 2 champions.
Ha ha ha, indeed! Though I suppose it would be odd if you had a son called Kelvin too. That would be quite the coincidence. I'm sure if you challenged Kelvin, you'd stand a mighty good chance.
Me?
No, the other champion. Ha ha ha! Ah, I'm only kidding! You'd make a fine addition to the Elite Four, Arya. It's nice to meet you, champion. My name is Odius, and as you may have realized by now, I am this region's champion. But titles such as champion, Elite Four, gym leader, they mean little when you are in a battle. All that matters then is your skill and judgment. Actions! The decisions you make for people who may not understand them. I mean your Pokemon. But I digress. Where was I? It's nice to meet you, champion. I'm sorry I had no time to organize an official meeting upon your arrival to the region. However, when Dodonna told me of your coming, I was hopeful your travels would bring you here. The Pokropolis used to be the home of the Pokemon League. Long ago, we'd have trainers from across the world visit for yearly games to determine the best of the best. But since the last Tempest, I moved the league to the top of Mount Solympia. Plus, from there, I have a better view of the island and all of its goings-on. If you want to battle here, it'll be with Arya. She is one of our gym leaders.
But you know all about gym leaders, don't you? Do I see the glimmer of 2 gym coins on you? Very nice.
I must fly away now. I have many duties to attend to, but don't be fooled. I'll be keeping an eye on everything from above. Feel that breeze. Go, Thundra! Take me away!
Champion Odius, Oh, he's gone.
Oh, hello there, another challenger. How goes it? My name is Arya. I am the leader of the fairy gym.
Whoa! Yeah, I've heard of you. Everyone in Solympia knows about you. You really are just like they say. My name is Cass. I've heard all about your battling skills, of course.
Charmed to meet you, Cass. I'm glad to hear that you've heard about my battling skills. It's the one thing I work at every day. And well, I'm pretty good if I say so myself. You see this stadium? For thousands of years, people have climbed the steps of Pokropolis to battle here. But in the 6 months since the Tempest, not many people have come to visit. But I think filling it with fantastic battles, maybe people will notice the power of this place again and come and visit. And maybe I'll be recognized by the Elite Four and enter among their ranks.
You are an incredible person, Arya. I'd love to battle you, though I see there might be a queue with the Stormer here.
Stormer? Is that what we're calling them nowadays? My apologies, champion. You have been waiting so patiently. Rest up in the town tonight, and in the morning I'll be fully ready to accept your challenge, and then, Cass, I will battle you right after.
I'll watch your battle and then learn how to beat you, Arya, and Little Champ too. You talk about battles here getting you into the Elite Four someday, but my goals are much higher. I will be a champion one day. It is my birthright, Arya. Little Champ, Odius, I'll beat you all. For all of Solympia, I will prove I'm the greatest trainer of all time, and that I was born to become a champion!
Well, that was an intense meeting to be sure. And look at that, we're all fired up and ready to go. Your third gym lies on the road ahead, as well as lots of new Pokemon. You should rest up. Something tells me you're gonna need it, Pokemon Masters. You've healed up your team, which is coming along nicely, by the way. I've loved reading your comments on this. And now you'll take it in turns to battle the gym with Cass. And perhaps this morning, before you head out to the gym, you'll take some time to train up with the trainers in the city and maybe even evolve some of your Pokemon ready for a fight. Starting up, it looks like your Popoil is evolving. Amphibiblimp, the balloon frog Pokemon. A water flying type, and while yes, it's relatively weak, it does use its speed to outmaneuver opponents. It can inflate its mouth and chest. Amazingly, even when underwater, it just produces air to zoom up to the surface and then into the sky. It then dives back down on opponents with quite the force. An excellent teammate for some very sneaky plays. And it's time for the starting bug to evolve.
Congratulations, your Hiphopper has evolved into Hipmothic, the Mothball Pokemon. Out of its cocoon state, the type changes once again to Bug Flying, meaning each stage of its evolution has a different secondary type to differentiate it. This gargantuan bug is the biggest of all bug Pokemon ever discovered, and while many find it terrifying, others envy it for its incredible eyelash. If you caught a Barbug at the beginning of your journey and kept some of its poison moves, they'll prove very helpful for when you face off against Aria. Also, if you did catch an Abra or a Honedge or a Psyduck, any of them that you would have caught before will have now evolved into a Kadabra, a Doublade, or a Golduck, so hopefully your team has a bit of bulk before the gym. Here she is now.
Hey there, champion. Good morning, and welcome to Pokebliss, the greatest stadium in all of Solympia. When you fly back to whatever region you are from, you will be telling the story of the time you couldn't win here. Plus, I need a victory. Cass arrived early and so has already had her battle. She's a tough one. You know, I get the impression that her anger towards you is misplaced. She's just frustrated. She sees the world opening up, getting bigger, and I think she just feels like she wants to be seen. And in front of the champion yesterday, she wanted to impress, but didn't get the chance. I can relate to that too. They call me the beauty of Aetheron, but it's a title I hate the most. The compliment is nice, but I want to be seen for what I am, the most powerful gym leader on this island. And you will lose here. First up, go Coink!
Whoa, this is a Pokemon we've never seen before. This little cutie is Coink, a Steel Fairy type, the lucky pig Pokemon. It flies around, and if you catch one, it's said to bless you with riches. It loves using moves like Payday and then wallowing around in the coins that it scatters. And if you were hoping to bring a poison type to take this down, then you will be sorely disappointed against its steel defenses. However, you should have a few fighting type Pokemon in the wings ready to go, or perhaps even a Brazian, Tempest, or Houndour ready to blaze your way through.
No problem. Go Sarasurf!
Next up is Sarasurf, and you may have already met this Pokemon back in Rumbletown, so you're pretty familiar with it already. Still, it can have some tricky status moves that can defeat some of your Pokemon, so be careful.
You're a strong trainer, but you won't stand a chance against my ace. Go Satacorn!
And here we have another new Pokemon, the evolution of Galalabai Satacorn. The gleaming goat Pokemon. It's hunted for its fur and horns that are said to have magical powers, summoning other fairy Pokemon. Therefore, it's being heavily protected by locals. Just like its pre-evolution, it's a fairy ground Pokemon and knows all manner of physical moves like Earthquake, Takedown, and Play Rough. However, if you have a Haronin or an Iguanagoon, you should have a really easy time against it and be able to take it out.
Whoa, my Satacorn! How is that even possible? You are a strong trainer for sure, and absolutely worthy of the 3rd gym coin. Well done! I guess I have more training to do. Congratulations, trainer. I guess the next gym would be in the city of Seacastle. Or, actually, if the cable cars were finished, you could take that up to the Cliffside village, and then beyond that, to Nespine City and the gym there. But we haven't got that working yet, so heading west to Seacastle's where I'd go.
Ah, Thundra, thank you. Aria, what a splendid display!
Champion Odius? Where did you come from?
I was watching from the Cliffside village.
All the way up there? But why not just come down and watch in the stadium? You must have incredible eyesight.
Ha ha ha! Yes, well, what can I say? There are many things for me to keep my eye on. And I must say, Aria, your battling prowess gets better every day. Do you feel that breeze?
Oh, thank you, Odius, thank you. Hey, I don't feel any breeze.
I sense only a lightness to the air, and a darkening sky is coming. Not a tempest, of course. Still, a gust once started may become a tornado at a moment's notice. That is for the Tempest Pokémon to decide. Tell me, champion, have you heard of the Tempest Pokémon? 'Tis a legendary Pokémon that lives on this island. They say it's a devil of a Pokemon speeding around causing mayhem, but it's much more than just a prankster. It has the power to cause great storms. In fact, it is the cause of the tempests that both plague and protect this island. Keep this secret with you when you leave Solympia.
Wow, the champion must really trust you.
Over a decade ago, I sensed a storm brewing much as I do today, and there was one with such hatred in his heart. He summoned the legendary Pokemon and caused this last 10-year Tempest. These great storms are usually a natural occurrence, but if the island wills one to begin, then the legendary Pokemon may create one. It is the will of Solympia. But when people start playing with nature like that, still, nothing to worry about. As I say, I'm sure enough that the storm coming is little more than a natural wind.
Excuse me?
Ah, hello there, and who might you be? Wait, don't answer. You're Cass of Trickletown, are you not?
And you're the champion, Odius. But wait, how do you know who I am?
Of course. Professor Dodonna has spoken very highly of you. You are the most skilled Pokemon trainer in the whole village, he said.
You really think so? Well, of course I am. I'm the greatest Pokemon trainer this island has ever seen. Not like the Stormer here. Little champ, I got my coin before you did, so you're struggling to keep up. In fact, I challenge you to a battle right here, right now.
Now, Cass, you know the little champ has just battled a gym leader. Allow me to heal up their team first.
Oh, yeah, of course.
There we go. Now a fair fight I love to see. Let the battle begin!
Here you and Cass go, it's time for another battle. You want to lead out strong, so why don't you send your starter out first?
Go, Houndoom!
A Houndoom, eh? Okay, well, with the rock typing on Iguanagoon and the ground typing on Brazian, you should be just fine here.
Houndoom was just me getting warmed up. Go, Hypnotic!
Okay, well, this is going to be a tough one, but maybe you have a Hypnotic of your own, so go into battle with it. Hypnotic versus Hypnotic. You want to use Hidden Hypnosis attack and hit Cass's Hypnotic while it's asleep. Ouch, or equally, Cass's Hypnotic might do that to you. That sucks, but it's okay, you have other Pokemon in your team.
Hypnotic! No, it's fine. Go, Hypnotrist!
Whoa, a Hypnotrist, another hypnotic Pokemon. This is the evolution of Marion, and as Marion evolved through the Dusk Stone, which you wouldn't have picked up yet, then you wouldn't have evolved yours if you had caught one. This Pokemon is said to live in the same woods as Hypnotic, and when the two meet, they try to hypnotize each other, putting many wild Pokemon to sleep as a side effect. Its stats are absurdly high for this point in the story. It's a grass dark type, and it's able to hit you for unbelievable damage. It has moves like Hammer Arm and Mega Punch, and thanks to its ability Marionette, kicking and punching moves become multi-hit moves, being able to hit you anywhere from their usual 1 to up to 6 times. This could be deadly. Wow, so much of your team has gone down, but you're hanging in there. Still, it seems like Cass's Pokemon are a much higher level than yours.
So you beat my Hypnotrist. No matter. I still have you. Go, Falraptor!
Uh-oh, her Falraptor is out and it knows dragon moves you could never have been ready for, like Outrage. You were fully healed before this battle, but Cass has the better of you here. I don't think you can win, even if you send in your starter Pokemon.
Use Outrage, Falraptor!
Oh, that's a Falraptor.
Yes! I win! I knew it! I knew I had what it takes! I did it!
You, Cass! Your Pokemon! That's a Falraptor! Quite a rare sight. They say a long time ago a Pokemon from another region called Avilisk appeared. It was able to sneak its eggs into the nest of the local Capon, and has evolved to look like them. See here, this is the difference between Capon and what you had before, which was a Mimichick. They are almost identical, but they are different Pokemon. In the rare nests where this Pokemon hatches, the Mimichick that become this Pokemon usually claim the nest for themselves. Keep on training hard, and one day, if you let it, it'll become an Avilisk, a deadly Pokemon.
Thank you, but is it really okay to have an Avilisk, though? It's technically an outsider. An invader to our island. I'm sorry I didn't realize that sooner.
Well, that first Avalisk showed up here thousands of years ago, and your Foul Raptor has lived its whole life here in your care, so this is its home.
Of course! Champion Odius, my Pokemon and I are going to get stronger. We're going to get as many coins as we can, and then challenge you on Mount Solympia. Then when I finally defeat you, I'll become a champion too!
Ha ha! I love it, that's the spirit. I can't wait to see it, Cass. I am certain you have it in you. Of course, just one victory against your friend here won't be enough to become champion. And champion, it looks like you still have room to grow. Now then, I will travel off to Mount Solympia to prepare for our challenge, and to keep my eyes on the skies. For you, I recommend you go on to Seacastle. They say it's where people first arrived in Solympia. Good luck to you both. Go Thundra!
If it's really true what the champion said about Avalisk, then maybe Stormers aren't really so bad after all. Of course, you'll have to prove yourself, little champ. If you're ever able to beat me again, that is. I'll be seeing you.
Huh? That's a true rivalry if I ever saw it. You know, me and the gym leader of Seacastle used to be rivals on our very own Pokemon journey. Good luck when you battle against him. I'll give you a hint. He uses water-type Pokemon, so you have plenty of time to prepare. Safe journeys, champion, and next time we battle, I'm going to win.
And with that, you better heal up your Pokemon and get ready for what comes next. Cass beating you in this battle was just the first time. Who knows if it'll be the last.
Just so you can get a feel for where you're at, if you've been catching everything along your path, you'll have 60 of 150 Pokemon.
You head north of Aetheron Town onto Route 5, and you're welcome to a cliffside view that bends west, revealing your goal of Seacastle Town in the distance. And on the way, there are plenty of trainers to battle and train up against.
You stink worse than my Garbodor.
Lairon, use Takedown.
Rapidash, bring us the victory.
These evolved Pokemon will all provide a decent challenge for you, and if you caught any of their pre-evolutions at any previous point, you may also have their evolved forms yourself. There is also, along this route, an opportunity to catch all sorts of new Pokemon, like this one right here. Aww, this little fella is Clawdle, the Cuddle Claw Pokemon. This little ground type is incredibly playful, and because of its proportions, it just sort of waddles and rolls everywhere. But don't worry about it rolling off the cliffside, it's no problem, because its claws extend and are long enough to dig into the mountainside so it can climb back up, no problem. What a fun little mon. You can also catch your very own Coink here on this route, a Pokemon that we discovered in the last episode, as well as Aerodon can also be found in the wild here, the evolution of Ratteroo, as well as higher level Gopher. There is also some evolutions of some Pokemon from Norclo here. If you caught Pupuff earlier, you can find or evolve yours into Wolo, while if at the beginning of your journey you caught a Snubbull, you can now have a Balboa, which can also be found in the wild here. Balboa's Pokedex entry mentions only that it likes to hunt the local rodent Pokemon, but Wolo has a much more interesting entry that says a playful Pokemon and the evolution of Pupuff. This Pokemon loves playfully chasing after the Whimper and blowing them away. Whimper? I've never even heard of that kind of Pokemon before. I wonder what kind of Pokemon that will be. Exciting. Maybe something we'll encounter on our journey. Hey! Hey, someone's coming. Does he look and sound familiar to you?
Hey, Pokemon Master, you must be the champion from across the ocean. Tell me, what's it like out there? Are there lots of regions to explore? Have you ever met a legendary Pokemon in your travels?
Sorry, where are my manners? My name is Herman, and I'm the gym leader of the Nest Pine City, or as we just call it, the Nest for short. It's an odd name for a city to be sure, but an apt description. It's not even really a city. It's more like a little cliffside village town. It's to the north of here, but you won't be able to get there by walking. It's a city of the skies. Though you know, champion, they say there actually is a city in the skies, somewhere to the east of Solympia. Can you imagine such a thing? If it was in the east, then that would have to be over or around the Pinnacle. The Pinnacle is a mountain just like the Nest, and between the two of those is Mount Solympia, the biggest of the three. They make up a trident mountain range that pierces the heavens. And both the Nest and Pinnacle are connected by the Great Solympian Bridge. Wow. This region is amazing. I can only imagine what wonders are out there beyond the sea. Someday I'll soar back out there and find out for myself, leave the Nest behind. Maybe after you challenge me. But at the moment, you only have 3 gym coins, it seems. So if you want to get tougher and meet a few more gym leaders, then I'll be waiting at the Nest. So hi, Pokemon Master. He seems nice. I love his hair. Well, it looks like there isn't much of a Cliffside route anymore, so now we're moving on to the Seacastle town. This town feels a little abandoned. The sand and stone mix together to create a constant sheet of sand or dust in the air that seems impossible to keep out of your hair. And the sun beats down on this portside town, meaning it's always hot. There are warehouses, a Pokemon Center, a Pokemart, a Pokeball factory, and a few other general convenience stores where you can pick up items like a good rod or some lure balls. Across the city and zigzagging towards the beach, there are also shipping containers that are disorganized, creating corridors where trainers lurk. At the Pokemon Center, the air conditioning seems to not be working, so they've left their doors wide open, letting a warm breeze fill their interior. So whether you want to train up first, or stock up on Pokeballs, or the good rod, it's all up to you. But a stop at the Pokemon Center does seem like it would be a good shout.
Your Pokemon are feeling all better. We hope to see you again soon.
Well, Mello, this is it. This has to be the perfect place to build Snooze Land.
Oh, Crash, the midday sun makes me so sleepy. We can build Snooze Land later. Why don't we go sunbathe for a bit?
I hear you, Mello, but stay with me here. We set up a few hotels on the beachfront, turn these shipping containers into sleeping pods, and we could be rich. Real respected members of Team Snooze.
Hang on, you said that about the last 3 port towns.
Yeah, but none of them had a beach like this one. Also...
Crash, what is it?
Well, I may have already called in all the grunts. Their ship arrived yesterday. I hear they're at the beach soaking up some rays.
Why you gotta be so brash, Crash? I told you, if we want to run this new Team Snooze, we have to do things the right way. Quick, we better get to the beach and round everyone up. Come on!
Well, it looks like everyone is going to the beach. Follow closely behind and see what happens. Ah! You step out of the Pokemon Center onto the beach, and suddenly a fireball is falling down from the sun at your feet. You jump back and look up. 4 more fall at you in quick succession and rage. You realize that what landed in front of you was no fireball, but in fact a flock of new Pokemon. And this Pokemon is none other than the very cleverly named Flamingo, the fire dancer Pokemon. They usually live in volcanoes, bathing in a boiling magma, but got trapped in Solympia after a terrible storm. Instead, they've adapted to soaking up the sun's rays and keeping their temperature high by snacking on Tempest. However, because Tempest can only be found in the water, they say that in this region their legs have grown longer to keep their bodies further away from the water and closer to the sun. There are 5 of them here battling you in a horde-like style. So now it's time to fight. Being a flying fire type, if you picked up any rock Pokemon or even a Twiguana, your Guanagoon will have some moves ready to take care of them. Ronin can also douse them with a splash of water, so cooling them down and sending them flying or even catching one shouldn't be a problem here.
Whoa, gnarly! You really showed those Flamingo who's the boss. Nice one, little dude. Usually they don't come this far in. They like to hang out by the wild Tempest on the beach. How strange. Something on the beach must be spooking them. I better get out there while the tide is still low. Later, little dude.
Huh, he seems nice too. Still, I wonder why the local Flamingo was so spooked. Maybe it had something to do with Team Snooze. But what's this? After training against the Flamingo, your starters, they're glowing with a white bright light. Could this be it? Time for the final evolution? Here we go. If you picked a Iguana at the beginning, your Guanagoon is evolving. Well done! Your Guanagoon evolved into Chlorodon. This Pokemon and its family were thought to go extinct a long time ago, but Chlorodon protects its children with a rock-hard might. They can summon the power of the earth to keep their family from going extinct. If you have this Pokemon on your team, it's decided that you are its family and will fight for you with a passion like nothing else you've ever seen. But if you chose Emble, your Brazian will be getting ready to evolve now. So let's take a look at what that evolves into. Amazing! Your Brazian has evolved into Minotaur. The ground it used to use to cool itself down has turned so hot it's boiled into a scorching tar that it can use to hurl at opponents.
It's said that in olden times, this Pokemon would use its tar to create structures and mazes and then charge through the walls it created to startle those lost within. This Pokemon carries an ancient fire that burns for you, trainer. With this Pokemon training with you, you'll be absolutely unstoppable. Finally though, if you chose Kingfisher as your starter, then your Horonin is about to evolve. Congratulations! Your Horonin has just evolved into Washido. This sword master dances with water, controlling it, slicing through it, and trapping opponents within a flurry of its beak, feathers, talons, and the sea. With so many tools in its arsenal, it's truly a reliable Pokemon. If you have this Pokemon on your team, you'll surely win any battle. Congratulations, champion. Your starter is fully evolved. Though just because your starters have evolved doesn't mean you're worthy of the title of Champion of Solympia just yet. You only have 3 gym coins, and the difference between a level 32 Pokemon and a level 100 Pokemon is huge. Heck, you've not even met half of the Pokemon that Solympia has to offer yet, and while your team is heading in the right direction, you still have a way to go, including with your 4th gym coin, and stopping whatever Team Snooze is up to on the beach.
So here we are.
The beach of Seacastle Town, also known as the Shallows, a beachy area where in the day the sun beats down, but at night the tide comes in, changing the landscape entirely. This place is a lot busier than Seacastle Town, as there are people everywhere, sunbathing, building sandcastles and surfing. It seems that all the local residents come here every day. The water is really shallow, and there seems to be people standing in the ocean. Looks like there's a path to follow through the shallow water and a chance of meeting even more new Pokemon. Flamingo, who you saw in the last episode, can be seen standing in groups around the shallows, piercing the water with their beaks as Kemphin zip around, causing steam to rise from the water. On the more beachy sections, you can find the Alolan Pokemon Sandygast, and if you caught a Pikachu earlier in your journey, you might find a Thunderstone on this beach to evolve it into an Alolan Raichu, or as it's known here, a Solympian Raichu. It's the only form of Raichu that there is here in the region. That is, of course, unless you trade a Raichu with a local tourist on the beach, and then you can get the Cantonian version. But look at me, Blabon, you don't care about Raichu and Sandygast, Flamingo and Temphin. There are, of course, a few brand new Pokemon around these parts. Is that a skull floating in the water? Oh no, it's only a Shrimp, the Ghost Shrimp Pokemon. This Pokemon has a translucent body so that it can escape predators, and as a result, swimmers report seeing skulls floating over the water's surface at night. For a long time, these Pokemon were thought to be the spirits of sailors lost at sea. If startled, they'll let out a very shrill cry which sounds like a banshee wailing. This Pokemon is a ghost and water type, and with the move Camouflage, can become a really versatile team member. The other Pokemon lurking in these waters is Pantherum, the lionfish Pokemon. This poisonous sea kitten is able to poison anyone who touches its whiskers. If it sees unsuspecting prey on the beach, it'll pounce up out of the water to attack, even if it then has to flop back into the sea. It is of course a poison water type and has a bit of a rivalry with Shrimp. Either of these two Pokemon would make fine additions to your team, especially as you now have to go on and take on what it seems to be a whole group of Team Snooze grunts who are all out in the shallows, sleeping on lilos.
Oi bruv, we snooze you lose.
Crash and Mellow are the best! Team Snooze hasn't had any real leadership in yonks!
You're in my sunlight. Taste the wrath of Snooze.
Across the beach, it looks like Mellow and Crash have megaphones.
Okay, beachgoers, I'm afraid you're all gonna have to move up the beach while we begin building our new Snooze Hotel, the beginning of Snoozeland.
Aw, why aren't they listening?
Ahem! I said beachgoers, it's time to go back to your homes. The beach will open again soon with a toll of just 500 Pokedollars for entry, but we promise Snoozeland will be everything you've ever dreamed of.
Not cool, bro. This beach is for everyone and their Pokemon alike, and you're spooking all the wildlife. As the gym leader of Seacastle Town and protector of the high seas, I, Mawwave, will have to stop you.
Quick, Crash out into the ocean.
Follow the shallow path.
Uh-oh, it looks like Team Snooze is off, further away, but more Team Snooze grunts are stopping you in your path. There must be at least a dozen of them, and the Flamingo are agitated, flying around and dive attacking you. This has caused quite the panic on a beach.
It's them. Oh, hey, little champ. Good to see you again. I don't like the looks of this, though. If Team Snooze keeps up like this, they'll send the whole ocean ecosystem into disarray. We have to stop them, little champ. You hear me? My foul raptor and I have the grunts in the shallows, so you get the ones in the deep. And it looks like the gym leader has gone far out on his surfboard, too. Go help him out. Make yourself useful already, Stormer.
Great, Cass is here. Looks like it's time for you two to stop Team Snooze. Here they come, wave after wave of enemies.
Hey you, stop where you are. Team Snooze is taking this beach. Go, Munchlax!
Hold it, kid. Didn't you hear? Team Snooze is a world-feared organization. Go, hoot hoot!
Hey, I heard this place was the first place travelers made into a town when they landed on Solympia. Now it'll be perfect for a snooze resort. I choose you, Slumber!
Looks like that's all of them for now, but where's Crash and Mellow?
Hit him with a Hydro Pump attack!
No! My Pokemon, Mellow! Hit him with the Snore attack for Snoozeland!
Crash, it's okay. We don't need to do this. Let's just retreat. There'll be more beaches. Get on Snorlax's belly. Snorlax, you surf. Let's get away.
Yeah, and stay out! Whoa! Hey, little fella, was that you and your friend battling all those snooze grunts? I battled Cass back at the gym. She's super strong. You're lucky to have a friend like her. It wouldn't surprise me if before long she was a gym leader herself. But I've not properly introduced myself. My name is Mawave, and I'm the Seacastle gym leader. It's my job to keep the beach clean of anyone like Team Snooze who would threaten this place's grooviness. Still, I'd be worried for them out there with this storm coming in. It's sunny now, but I can feel the movement of the ocean. Something's coming. Hey, I know you came all the way out here to the edge of the shallows expecting to battle them, but my Pokemon didn't break a sweat. While the sun is still out and you're here, why not battle me instead? Okay, buddy, surf's up!
Whoa, you've just been propelled into battle. You better hope your team is feeling up to the challenge, though I'm sure they are.
Go, Pantheon!
It looks like the first Pokemon out is Pantheon, the Pokemon from earlier. It'll be laying down some toxic spikes and using Toxic to guarantee poison on at least a few of your Pokemon. There are very few Steel types up until now, so unless you're training a Gokofa or a Coink or a Honedge that you caught earlier, you'll probably be getting poisoned. Sorry.
Whoa, you know your moves. Time to come crashing down. Go, Shrill!
Shrill. While its stats are low, this Pokemon tends to be able to evade moves and use Hex on your poison Pokemon, so it'll hit back strongly. Still, I believe in you. And it looks like Mawave's next Pokemon is one you've seen before, but haven't had the chance to catch yet.
Go, Lapras!
This is Solympian Lapras, and you met it in an earlier episode. It's native to the southern waters and forests, and is known to hit not just with usual powerful water-type moves, but also with Energy Ball. It'll certainly be getting in the way of your own water-type Pokemon.
Ha ha ha! Nice one, Lapras! Man, you really are strong. Fine then. You're up, Temferno!
And finally we have Temferno, the Sea Serpent Pokemon. This is the evolution of Temfin, and it's unlikely you'll have found a Fire or Water Stone yet to evolve your Temfin, because yes, this Pokemon requires both to evolve. But who knows what you'll pick up on the beach after this battle. Still, this is your first time seeing one, and it's known to be the fuming Pokemon. Because of its immense body temperature, steam often billows from the deeper water where it swims. Thanks to its new ability Temperature Check, this Pokemon's moves get highly boosted in both rain and sunny day. So look out, no matter which starter you chose, powerful blasts of fire or water are coming your way.
Whoa, gnarly! You just beat my Temferno! You must be an incredible trainer! How have we never battled before? Whoa, I see you're the trainer from another land. Incredible! Well, if I ever get the chance to swim out there myself, maybe I'd take you on again. Of course, I couldn't get out there with just surfing Pokemon for sure. By the way, any of your Pokemon with the ability to surf can surf now. Nice, isn't it? You can surf anywhere. Me? Just stopping any trouble that pops up here is quite the job enough. Yeah, I spend more time at the beach than at the gym, but as more and more of you appear from the outside, I gotta keep more and more of an eye on this. Huh? It's beginning to rain. Just as quickly as the sun comes out, so does the rain. Oh, where is my head at? Of course, I'm a gym leader, and you just won a battle. Gym stadium or not, you get a gym coin. And look, here comes that girl from earlier. She beat me in a battle yesterday. So many strong trainers. Well, it's really starting to hammer down now. Time for me to surf on back. Good luck, Pokemon Master.
Hey, did you get your coin, little champ? I said, did you get your coin? Wow, that storm appeared fast. Normally I'd be up for calling it a day, but we still gotta deal with Team Snooze. They keep surfing away. Don't they realize the damage they're doing out there? I'm going to surf after them. Now that you have that coin, you can use this HM at a battle. I'm heading south. If you want to follow, fine, but if not, well, I guess that's what I should expect from a stormer. Catch you later.
Well, it looks like Cass has gone off to chase Team Snooze. You have your 4th coin and your starters are fully evolved. You've made so much progress here in Solympia. In fact, I'd say we're about halfway through, but it seems like a storm is coming.
A storm like that one a decade ago? No, I won't allow it.
Oh no, the seas are getting rough, and as you surf out, you seem to be getting caught in a whirlpool? And out here on the other side of that whirlpool is Cass, riding her Pokemon.
Have you seen Team Snooze? I think they got away. We should be able to get out of this whirlpool. Champ? What's that?
Out from the center of the whirlpool, dark, slimy tentacles start to rise up. The same cry you heard back at the beginning of your adventure echoes. This looks like an encounter is about to start with an incredibly new and rare Pokemon here in Solympia. As the tentacles rise out of the water, the sea swirls around you. What in the world could such a Pokemon be? The same cry you heard back at the beginning of your adventure echoes. This is Draken, the dread Pokemon, and across history, sailors and pilots alike speak of an unstoppable storm. A storm that summoned the deadliest of all Pokemon. A bringer of doom scarier than the elements themselves. Witness accounts of this Pokemon often come in the form of terror-fueled mumblings. Draken have huge stats and don't need to evolve or into anything. And because of its unbelievable ability double-double, any multi-hit moves of theirs can hit up to 8 times. You heard 8. Even something like Dual Chop, which usually hits only 2 times. These moves just keep going, dealing huge damage.
Whoa! I'm gonna try and catch it! Go Ultra Ball! Ah! The storm is just too strong! We're going to have to take it down together!
It's time for a 2-on-1 battle against the humongous new Pokemon. And watch out, because it'll hit you both with Surf, trap you with Whirlpool, rip you apart with Dual Chop, and send you flying with Dual Wing Beat. But I believe in you and Cass. You together can take this Pokemon down, but one this big, you would not be able to catch it.
Little champ, what are you doing over there? It's time to step up! Hypnothic! Use Psywave! Ah! Hypnothic!
Hopefully you chose a Kingfisher and your Horonin can fly around here. Otherwise, your Chlorodon and Minotaur are going to be hopping from rock to rock in the middle of a whirlpool just to try and land a hit. But between the two of you, taking this Pokemon down is completely possible.
I think that was it! You dealt the final blow! Alright, it's crashing back into the ocean! Oh no, that's a big wave! Ah! Hey, Stormer, you awake? You'll be fine. I can't believe we saw the dragon. It was likely disturbed by Team Snooze riling up the beachgoers. Dang Stormers. I'll see if there's a way out of here. Hang tight.
Wake up! Wake up, Pokemon Masters! You've awoken and found yourself in a small cave. The entrance looks out onto the sea, but the sky is dark and it's hard to see anything through the rain. You must be somewhere on Route 6, but who knows where? The sea is still far too rough for you and your Pokemon to access, and Cass seems to have gone. All you have is this small island, this cave. And inside the cave, there's a well, with a ladder heading deep underground, and a weather-worn sign simply warns that the forgotten are found here. Wow, that sends shivers down the spine. Still, sounds like an adventure to me. You have no choice but to descend the ladder and find yourself in a dark, wet, underground network of tunnels. If Cass went anywhere, she must have gone through here. You're fumbling around in the dark using fire, electric, or psychic moves to help light your path through this dark, damp tunnel. And hey, is it just me, or did something move? What's that pushing up against you? Oh, look at these little fellas. Solturian are the Order's Pokemon. It's a psychic rock type, and this childlike golem waddles around through the caves and seems to be drawn to people and sources of light. Look at it waddle towards you. Kind of cute, but this Pokemon can become threatening when hordes of them start to appear from nowhere. It's time to run. Its Pokedex entry mentions how it loves the sunlight, so what they're doing down here, who knows? Perhaps they were dragged down from the cave entrance. The next new Pokemon you can catch here is Scarecrows, the virus Pokemon. This is a dark grass type, and there are a bunch of them hanging from the ceiling. Their Pokedex mentions that these Pokemon were said to be brought to life by an ancient population who wanted to ward people away. This Pokemon is thought to be a virus infecting hay bales. It knows all of your classic grass and dark moves like Dark Pulse or Leaf Storm, but it isn't too hard to beat. These two are certainly, though, not the only Pokemon down here. Finally, we have Cerebat, the mind vampire Pokemon. This psychic flying type lives underground and in caves, and despite having incredibly large teeth, it doesn't actually bite. Instead, it just flies around you, and it's said being around this Pokemon makes you feel drained and tired. People who spend too much time around Cerebat become forgetful, as this Pokemon steals their memories. Catch one if you're brave enough, or just flee from every encounter. They're quite common down here. What a spooky set of new Pokemon. Oddly enough, Ditto can also be found underground here sometimes, stuck to the ceiling or mimicking other Pokemon in the areas. How in the world they got down here, I'll have no idea. But training against them may allow you the experience to evolve some of your existing teammates. If you caught a Cascadian Yanma earlier in the journey, then expect to have a Yan Mage by now. They say that a mighty citadel once stood in Aetheron City, where a head librarian would always carry a Yan Mage, and this dragon bug would make an excellent addition to the team. Additionally, Balboa always evolve into their final evolution, Serapent, the serpent Pokemon. This Pokemon loves burrowing underground, and so this environment is perfect for them to maneuver, using heavy-hitting moves like Magnitude or Earthquake. Finally, we have evolutions to two Pokemon we may have caught earlier in the journey, Coink and Clawdle, from cute to tough. Let's take a look. Firstly, we have Coink, and Coink has evolved into Hoggolden, the good luck Pokemon. Hoggolden is a sight for sore eyes in this place, being steel and fairy. It boasts some strong physical moves while offering a happy smile and some good luck. Its Pokedex entry says that only a trainer of kind heart can evolve a Coink into a Hoggolden, and to tickle its tummy is to be granted with good luck. However, if you caught a Clawdle earlier, it'll evolve into Embers, the bear trap Pokemon. And this Pokemon is a ground dark type, and while it may look cute, don't let that deceive you. It'll only let its trainer hug it safely. For everyone else, the face pattern that's on its stomach is actually an evolutionary tactic, designed to lure in prey. This is to compensate for its very short arms. Its prey just comes over to it willingly. Many of its victims walk up to it completely unknowing and totally willingly. With all of the new Pokemon in this episode and coming up in the next one, now is the time for a full team upgrade and re-establishment. You'll have to let me know in the comments how your team is coming along. Hey, Hey, a noise! You look and see a ladder leading up to an opening. There's some sunlight. Where have you been led to? As you climb up the ladder and emerge on the surface, you realize that you've been training and traveling all night, and now the morning light blinds you for a moment before you can catch your vision. You realize you're in a town that you've only heard from other people in passing, the Lost Village, recognizable only by a disused radio tower and lighthouse to the north of this island. No one's quite sure what's even on this island, and it was never mentioned to you by Professor Dodona when you were invited to the Solympia region. You look out onto the sea, and you see, is that a face? What even is that? Is that a Pokemon like the Pokemon you saw back in the forest? Gaianis? It's there one moment and then gone the next, washed away with the waves. And maybe you'll get to meet it again one day. As you look out over the sea to the east, you can see the mainland and the Elderwood Forest in the distance. In the west, there are a number of small hut-like houses and a giant lighthouse, as well as a radio tower that seems to have seen some better days. As you walk around the outskirts of this town, you will also notice some long grass inhabited by a few new wild Pokemon that will see you as an intruder to their home and attack. These Pokemon are actually Pokemon you've seen before. Shrill is one of them that you can catch here, and then the other is Hermite, a Pokemon you met way back at the beginning of your journey in the hands of Professor Lawrence. It is here at this point in your journey you might finally be able to catch one and add it to your team, but also you'll be able to catch one with that shields down ability, meaning if its health gets low enough you will see it in its shields down form. This form is full on an intimidation tactic, losing any sense of physical attack and physical defense and exchanging it for speed and special attack. It's truly very spooky, but this place is the home of Hermite. And as well as old Pokemon, there are also of course some new wild Pokemon that will appear. First up we have a Dorsum, the spinal fluid Pokemon. It's a water type and it controls the water in its body by using a nervous system that joins up at its vertebrae. Some people say that this Pokemon's spine is its brain. If they get caught unaware, they can sometimes dry up on a beach and will appear to just be a collection of bones, but a little water will always bring some life back to them. They know moves like Water Gun and Rock Blast, and they aren't particularly strong, though their bite has some promise. Maybe you should pick one up and add it to your team. The other Pokemon you'll find here is Whimper, the Scaredy Cat Pokemon. It's a ghost fairy type, and the stories of Solympia say that this Pokemon used to live on the mainland until Puff showed up from Norclo and started blowing them around. They live alongside the local Sandygast, which you can also find here by the way, and the local Whimper may be on the verge of disappearing completely, or it may just be that they're very well hidden, being able to make their bodies vanish completely. But on your team, I suspect this Pokemon wouldn't be so afraid.
Oh, another Stormer, huh? This village doesn't get visitors anymore. Not since our champion Odius cast me out. To take it out on me, I understand. But that monster, to take it out on our whole community because of my actions! Tell me, child, what region do you hail from? Norclo by chance? Interesting. You know, in my younger days, I sailed the world and dreamed of meeting new people in Pokemon. But the Tempest meant that once I left, I couldn't return easily. When I finally settled back home, I saw what the Stormers did. They came and went from this region at their leisure. Pokemon were imported like Puff, and the local Whimper had to scatter here and hide. I prayed to the island's protector spirits, Ocetus, Heliphos, and Gaianis. They showed me how to start a Tempest, how to protect this island from outsiders. I know you think your presence here is no big deal. You're just exploring and taking on the gym challenge. Well, you'll be out of luck. You may go to the radio tower and claim a coin if you'd like, but you'll be claiming it from the floor. The gym is boarded up and empty. If I were you, I'd leave Solympia entirely. Go home before another Tempest begins. Your presence here is a disruption to our way of life. The last man who came here from Norclo caused quite the disruption. By bringing Snebel, he lowered the local Rataroo population. He, like you, seemed so optimistic and kind, but his carelessness led to destruction. I have to travel to Mount Solympia to see Odius. Perhaps he'll actually see reason this time.
Oh, well that was something. Did he just mention you could go to the gym and pick up a coin for free? Neat. That's something at least. Still, it seems a little unfair of him to judge you when you've only just washed up in this town. Still, as you travel through this sandy town, the locals look at you from a distance. If you try to say hello, they'll back up into their homes and shut the door. Perhaps the best thing would just be to visit the radio tower and just be done with it.
There's one more thing though that you can find here. As you walk along the beach, you may stub your toe on objects that at first seem like rocks, but on rare occasions are actually fossils of Pokemon that you got washed up here many years ago. The Dome and Helix fossils represent Pokemon that never lived here in the ancient past, but have just through sea currents made their way here. And interestingly, you've yet to hear anything about fossil restoration technology on this island. This island probably doesn't even have that. However, if you have caught the Pokemon Hermite on your journey and you send it out of its Pokeball, it might get very interested in the items in your bag, and you'll realize that the Helix and Dome fossil aren't key items anymore, but instead are evolution items. The Dome and Helix Stone expose either to Hermite and it'll get ready to evolve into one of 2 new Pokemon with a familiar look. Introducing Kabutops and Omenstar. If you're a well-traveled trainer, you may have heard of these Pokemon before. These are the recycling Pokemon, and according to the Pokedex, these Pokemon are widely seen to be desecrating fossils of ancient Pokemon. However, as all Pokemon die, the islanders know that this is a form of natural recycling. It's part of the Pokemon ecosystem. Because this Pokemon is a ghost type, it doesn't face the same survival challenges as its past homeowners. This Pokemon is much more concerned with staying out the sunlight, so it's just making use of a resource that Omastar and Kabutops don't need anymore. There are rumors though that this Pokemon is being researched in secret in the Kanto region because of another evolution that it doesn't seem to have access to. It's going to be up to you whether you're going to evolve your Hermite into one of these 2 forms, an attacker or a defensive Pokemon. In fact, if you are walking around with a Kabutops or an Omenstar, the locals might actually look at you a little bit longer before they lock the doors and shut the windows as you pass. As you walk up to the Pokemon gym/radio tower, you notice that the gym doors are boarded up. There's scaffolding winding all the way up and around, and you're not sure if this tower was ever finished in the first place, or if perhaps it was abandoned during repairs at some point, but the door is barricaded, and the only option to get into this gym is going to be to climb that scaffolding. As you make your way up, the outside of the tower is attacked by ghost Pokemon. Shrilp, Hermite, and Whimper see your ascension, and as twilight begins to fall on this island, time feels like it's moving a little bit differently, and these ghostly Pokemon elevate up to you and attack you. As you get to the higher floors, Corviknight will swoop in from the sky and attack you as well. These are the Pokemon that will attack you in place of the usual gym trainers. Who knows where they are? However, eventually you get high enough up to make your way through an open window on one of the upper floors. You look down into a dark pit, a battlefield many floors down below, dimly lit by candles. You can only really just about make out the shapes of the interior. What was that? This is a creepy gym, the stuff of nightmares. You can find documents scattered about the place that tell of the Seacastle, a ship that crashed off the coast during a tempest. The tempest raged for 100 years long and caused the survivors to create the first settlements across Solympia. The tempest raged for 100 years and great chasms opened up in the sea, with an ancient power overflowing out and onto the mainland of Solympia. The survivors of that shipwreck of Seacastle town, they worshipped a great statue god that gave them safe passage and protection. The writing is faded. S-Lops? It's too faded to make out exactly what it says. Later scraps of paper around this radio tower tell of civilizations in Solympia dating back thousands of years before the crash of Seacastle. Another document allows you to update your Pokedex, as it tells that the Seacastle ship carried a Pokemon called Mimichick, a bird Pokemon that could blend in with the local population and hide within a nest only to dominate it. This registers in your Pokedex as the Pokemon that Cass had before it evolved into Foulraptor. It was a Mimichick all along. The final document is a handwritten note from what seems to be thousands of years ago. Most of it is illegible, but you can make out a few phrases that suggest that the stranded people of the Seacastle battled with the before people. After peace was made between these two peoples, a hidden temple was created in the sky to the Tempest Pokemon, who became both the protector and prison guard of these people. This is when all on the island were named Solympians. Finally, as you descend to the bottom floor of this gym, you hear a familiar voice.
Little champ, I see you made it out of the underground tunnels okay then. I left to find help after the dragon attacked and I found this place, this village. It's incredible. I lived in Solympia my entire life and I've not even seen any of this drawn on maps. Yet there's a Pokemon gym here? I think the champion Odius once considered this gym to be part of the Pokemon League. But how has it been forgotten? Why? I asked Animos about it. Perhaps you met him? He used to be the gym leader here. He despaired for his forgotten people who had been left behind from the rest of Solympia. But they were being punished for his actions. He told me when he battled that he was responsible for the last Tempest, the storm I grew up in. For the last 10 years, it's been calm and peaceful. But then you showed up, and Team Snooze? You claiming yourself to be a champion? Plus all of them with their Snooze Land nonsense? And now, the dragon stirs and the storms are raging all over. It's Olympia saying no! No, Stormer, stay out! This is my home, my island! I earned my coin from Animos, and you haven't! If you want to get to Mount Solympia like me, then you'll have to earn it too! If you want this coin, you'll have to battle the lost gym leader, me! Gym Leader Cass!
And here we go, Cass is off and ready to battle. It looks like Cass is our 5th gym battle.
Go, Hypnotrist!
First up, it's a Hypnotrist, and this Pokemon took you by surprise last time. With its Grass Dark typing, it has some tricky moves and new abilities, and it's not even the only hypnotic Pokemon on her team. Hopefully one of your newly evolved Pokemon can take it out, and maybe by now you even have a Hypnotic, whose bug moves can deal 4 times damage. Though, Hypnotic won't be any good against her next Pokemon.
Go, Hypnotic!
Yes, it looks like this gym is not sticking to a single type. Hypnotic is bug flying, and if you're using one, then they'll swoop down on each other, and I guarantee hers is faster. No matter what starter you pick though, you'll have a Pokemon here who's ready to deal heavy damage using flying, rock, or fire moves to Hypnotic, so it's no problem. Next up, it's a new Pokemon, a regional variation.
I evolved this one when I battled against Animos. I choose you, Tridoom!
Tridoom is a powerful Fire Ghost regional evolution found only here in Solympia. It is the loyal Pokemon. If you caught your Houndour back in Rumbletown, you might have one yourself by now. Its new main move is this move called Ghost Tri-Flame, and this move hits 3 times and is both Ghost and Fire type, making it strong against a much wider range of enemies. Its Pokedex entry reads that best friends for life isn't enough for Tridoom. After its owner passes into the next world, Houndoom will evolve to keep their trainers company, no matter where they end up. But you have the power to outmaneuver this Pokemon. It's somewhere in your team, even if Tridoom takes out a few of your Pokemon in the process.
You're not ready for this. My starter is finally at their full strength. Go now, my mighty Obelisk!
Whoa, okay, here we go. Obelisk is the false truth Pokemon. This dark dragon type is monstrous indeed. Said to be born of an invasive species, no one's quite sure where it originated from. And its ancestry doesn't appear to go back any further than when humans first arrived in Solympia. This Pokemon has an unbelievably wide move pool. Knowing Outrage, Dark Pulse, Sludge Bomb, and Glare, it is a brutal Pokemon, and to battle it, it holds nothing back. The chances that you would have found a Mimichick instead of a Capon are so low on Route 1, but it is possible that you could have one by now. Your odds would have been about as low as shiny odds, but realistically an Obelisk is the best weapon against an Obelisk. Certainly a Scraptor just wouldn't leave a scratch. They would be far too terrified to take it on. This Pokemon is this region's pseudo-legendary, and for a 5th gym, it's gonna make it a tough battle. But you have your fully evolved starter and a range of powerful Pokemon, so you should be able to take it down with a final attack that blasts open the barricaded front door of the gym, letting the moonlight spill in.
Whoa, that last attack! You blew open the gym doors. That was truly intense. I see now. I'm truly not ready as a gym leader. Still, that just means my destiny lies out there, and not in here. No, it lies up there. Mount Solympia. I see. You Stormers changed everything. And what Animos is planning to do, well, I support it. And I bet he may need my help too. I'm sorry, but you will always be a Stormer to me. I did think that maybe you weren't so bad though. That maybe you're not like the others. And maybe you're not, but the others are. As long as there's people like Team Snooze, This island is not safe from outsiders. Looking to alter, destroy, and change the world I live in. What the island has now is beautiful. It shouldn't be desecrated by those from the outside. I don't know how much the champion values my love for tradition. I don't even think the champion cares if you have this or not. But here.
Whoa, she just tossed your way an old rusted coin. The shadow coin. That. You now have 5 gym coins. The champion mentioned that you may only need 7 to complete the gym challenge, but this one is so rusty, I wonder if it even counts.
Stormer, I'm heading off. Surfing west will take me back to the Elderwood Forest. I read a story about a hidden temple around there. That's where Animos is going before climbing Mount Solympia. And that's where I need to be too. Good luck, Stormer. You won this battle for now, but you won't win the war. I swear it!
And with that, she's gone. There is no Pokemon Center here on this island, so perhaps your best option is to just stay in this gym for the rest of the night and let your team rest up. The ghost Pokemon of the gym have dispersed, and so this is probably your best bet before journeying out in the morning.
It's amazing. You and Cass have both come a long way. I just hope you're both headed in a positive direction. Getting your team ready, it's time to head out and continue your journey. As the morning sun rises, you follow Cass surfing east back towards the mainland of Solympia.
Ah yes, first of all we have Zolosus, the nebulous Pokemon. This Pokemon is a pure flying type and it generates moves like Whirlwind and Hurricane to deal huge damage. Thanks to its legendary Delta Stream ability, it protects it from super effective hits, and according to its Pokedex entry, this Pokemon is the father of the skies. They gather and create great storm clouds, and if enough gather together, they can even form cities in the sky. Legends say that somewhere in Solympia, these Pokemon gather and hold an ancient secret. And Zolosus is not alone. It's joined by its partner, Tyclone, and this is the Parasite Pokemon. And a Zolosus that becomes infested with this Tyclone will become part of this Pokemon. Being whipped around at incredible speeds, electricity can be generated, giving this Pokemon the flying electric type. Zolosus infested with a Tyclone will never return to an ancient Sky City. However, by all understanding, Zolosus don't really mind being whipped around. Neither of these Pokemon evolve, but will both make for an excellent addition to your team. That said, some of your party Pokemon may have already evolved. Shall we take a look? Ah yes, if you caught one earlier, then your Solturion will be ready to evolve into a Centurion, the Quad Guardian Pokemon, another Psychic Rock type. These Pokemon can command armies of Solturion, which can be intimidating, but usually they just use their big hands to build. Finally, if you caught one at the beginning of the game, I think it's finally time to see what your Corviknight will evolve into. Let's take a look at something brand new. And oh yes, this one is a good one. Here is my favorite bird in the region. This is the Pokemon Simorgh, and it's the Deathbringer Pokemon. This Pokemon is incredibly rare, even in Solympia. Some trainers who ride on its back are said to be taken to the realm of ghost Pokemon. To be the trainer of a Simorgh is a truly special thing, and if you have one joining your team with its ghost flying type, you should be very proud. It'll help you out as you head back to the Elderwood Forests. Here the ocean joins up with the forest and there's now this watery path leaking out of the grove. You'll sail underneath the bridge that you once crossed earlier where you saw the legendary Pokemon Gionis. Regional Lapras are now available to you here as well. You also remember there being a little shrine in the water where the legendary Gionis seemed to appear from before, and you can surf straight into it. It's a flooded shrine and there's nothing of significance inside. Most days of the week, you'll just encounter Lapras here, chilling out and chewing on the moss and kelp. But if you enter the cave on a Friday, Lapras will be quite absent, and instead a pointed shell will protrude from the water inside, and you'll meet a brand new Pokemon. This is the magical Seacastle, a fairy water-type Pokemon that knows bug, poison, fairy, dragon, and water moves. It is the magical shell Pokemon, and with the Protean ability and such a wide move pool, it's something truly special. The Pokedex says that this is a rare sight for anyone in Solympia. Stories tell of a boy lost in the forest, praying to meet some mighty dragon of the sea. He waited patiently, watching the Lapras, only to realize that he'd been waiting so long, he had become Seacastle. Though not many people really travel through this part of the Elderwood Forest, so who knows what's true.
As you come to the end of the watery path, you hop off of the Pokemon you were surfing on, and as you leave the water and proceed deeper into the Elderwoods, you notice someone you recognize.
I suppose it doesn't matter how strong my Pokemon get. I don't quite have what it takes to beat Pokemon that have a type advantage.
That's okay, Clara. You've got stronger since we last battled, and you nearly had me there. Oh, hello. I recognize you.
Oh, hello. Welcome back to the Elderwoods, champion.
Of course, the champion from the far-off land. Well, if you're heading this way, then you must be heading to the nest, my town. Brilliant. Fantastic. Yes, yes, yes! A battle to remember. Clara, thank you for a good match. I'd better head to the gym and prepare.
Oh my, that Herman. Hello, champion. How are you finding Solympia? A giant storm, you say? Yesterday? Deep in the Elderwoods, you don't really notice things happening above the trees. As I said before, this really is a magical place. Oh, tell me, did you capture a regional Vigoroth or Togetic before? If you have them with you? In these deeper parts of the Elderwoods, you can evolve them and you'll find all sorts of evolved Pokemon. I came here to evolve my teammates, so I'll be stronger for the next gym challenges. Good luck on your journey, champion. Just watch out for the Pokemon that exceeds evolution.
What was that? A Pokemon that exceeds evolution? And what about your Vigoroth and Togetic? If you still carry them on your team, you should train them up here a little more against the wild Hypnotic and Hypnotrisk that live in the woods. And if you do, they may just evolve. You've all seen it before. Togekiss is the Jubilee Pokemon, living high up in the trees of the deep Elderwoods where it roosts coconuts grow. Occasionally, a coconut will actually be an egg, and if you drink milk from one of the regular coconuts, you'll have a blessed day. Vigoroth, of course, evolved into Slacking, the lazy Pokemon. It no longer has the Truant ability, and the moss on its fur keeps it energized and strong. It's a normal grass type, and while it's not as strong as its Hoenn counterpart, it can move a lot faster. Your team must really be coming together, changing and taking shape, but we're not even close to done, because the deeper into the Elderwoods Forest you go, well, you should watch out for them creepy crawlies. This is Arachnid, the Knitweb Pokemon. It's a psychic grass type, and it was once the most feared predator in the whole Elderwood Forest, until it was outcompeted. They say in ancient times it hunted humans, but now it works with them to rid the forest of its own predators. And speaking of its predators, there is at least one more Pokemon that appears this far into the Elderwoods Forest. I told you it would be a busy day for new Pokemon. If you caught the seemingly pointless Pokemon Salavite at the beginning of your journey, it can now evolve into its true form, its evolution, that can be found here in the deep Elderwoods. This is Evolve, another bug and psychic type, and it is the Exceed Pokemon. And watch out. They say that Salavite didn't used to have an evolution, but during a Tempest, a great chasm opened up, and this Pokemon obtained a new power. Now Evolve is the most dominant predator in the forest. Now your team has grown, you might think it's story time, but the truth is you're still in for a little bit more of a walk till the next town. You're traveling such a great distance today, and as you exit the Elderwood Forest, there is a short cliffside walk to the cliff town on the side of Mount Solympia. It overlooks Aetheron City and is a tough place to access, and there, you guessed it, there are even more wild new Pokemon. Wolo and Balboa from Norclo reside on the mountainside, as well as Mbess that can be found here on the cliffside too. Tangrowth wander out of the deep Elderwoods to sit on the cliffside and watch the world down below, and Cascadian Yanmage zips around here too. Also, if you caught Impidimp or Morgan before, expect it to be a Grimmsnarl by now also. Finally, you notice stone faces that at first seem to be carved into the cliffside, but the vines writhe around inside them and you realize it's actually a Pokemon. This is Sagend, a grass rock Pokemon known as the Wizard Pokemon. While their mouths don't move per se, they are known to sing as part of a special ceremony. When the ceremony is complete, they seem to projectile spit seeds into the West Ocean. Perhaps they're related to something out there. I knew you'd make it to the Cliffside town. It feels right that you should see it. After all, outsiders like you made this part of the region habitable. You might have noticed that there are a lot of Pokemon on your way here, and this area is great for wild Pokemon, but people have historically struggled reaching the mountainous areas of Solympia. And as our population grows while the Tempests are in full swings, we have to take to the mountains for help. But thanks to technology recently brought in from the Hoenn region, we now have a cable car system ranging from this Cliffside town up to my home, the Nest or Nestpine City. There used to be a route directly through the mountains to get there, but after some unfortunate cave-ins, the Nest became isolated. But now we can work on putting in more cable car systems and places becoming more connected. In many ways, that's what meeting other Pokemon and people from across the world is. It's us connecting, sharing the best bits of ourselves while learning what we truly need to know to improve our quality of life. This interconnectivity, it's fantastic! I'm gonna fly ahead to the Nest, and when you're rested, take the cable car over. I think I have only a few more gym battles left in me before I'm finally ready to fly the Nest myself and travel the rest of this beautiful world of ours. I'll see you out there. Oh, enjoy the cable car, and of course, soar high. Wow, he really does seem nice, and looks like our next gym battle. The path to your next gym and following Herman is a simple one, to Nestpine City. You take your way up the cable car system that was actually only recently introduced to the region by technologies brought over from Hoenn. And as you're flying out there, you see a flock of Corvidae flying in the sky, soaring past, as well as what seems to be a new Pokemon that you can't quite make out in the distance. Maybe you'll get to see what that is a little bit later. Thankfully, the sky is clear up here and nothing could ruin your ride. From here, you can see half of Solympia, just no problem. As you disembark, you're told that there's a small cave path here that leads you out to the main part of the nest. In this cave, you'll find some Cerebats as well as 2 brand new Pokemon to see the theme for this Sky High episode. The first Pokemon is Harrapin, a flying poison type Pokemon, and it's said to be a baby of the sky. Their home is spoken of as being above the clouds, and their poison feather tips require a special kind of antidote should you be pierced with one to cure. This small Pokemon is just the beginning of its evolutionary line and signals a bit of what's to come. Next up is the Pokemon Meteon, the evolution of a Pokemon that you haven't actually met yet. That's right, this is a middle stage evolution appearing before the pre-evolution. What we can see is that it's a fire rock type, and its pre-evolution is entirely different. It is the atmosphere Pokemon, and it is said that once Comice has done enough rotations of Solympia, they will settle in the mountainsides as balls of fire. Its evolution change is known for dramatically changing typings. However, it's unknown if this Pokemon can be found on the other mountaintops of Solympia. I wonder if we'll get to see what Comice looks like soon. A few more Pokemon to join your team that might be useful as you come out onto the cliff edge town that is the Nest. The people who live up here are some of the most fearless Pokemon trainers in the world, living so high up. The gym is also a stadium surrounded by some artsy looking spikes, but the ceiling is capable of opening up and being an open air stadium. Well, hello there, Pokemon Champion. How was your flight over? Aren't the cable cars of Solympia absolutely fantastic? We're working on having another set to connect us to Aetheron City, but alas, we'll have to wait for supplies to come in from the other regions. You know, I heard about a Team Snooze and their plan to build a hotel down in Seacastle town. What a wonderful idea! More people traveling in from all over the world. Recently, I met a young trainer who I just didn't see eye to eye with. She had come all the way from Trickletown and was angry about them. I understand, people can be clumsy and destructive when they find something new and exciting, but also they bring such wonderful stories and experiences, technologies and aid. I think this may be one of my last gym battles, Champion. Soon I'll take to the skies and see what's beyond the horizon. It's finally time to soar high, but first, let's see how ready I really am to take on what's out there. Let the gym battle begin. Go, Harrapin! This guy's not messing around. You know, I really like his style, and he's got a very comforting voice about him. And what do you know, Herman has chosen to send out Harrapin. It's possible that you have one of these yourself, but knowing that this was likely a flying type gym, hopefully you bought an electric type like Gopher or Tyclone, or a rock type like Hermite's Evolution or the Snebel line, which at this point will have fully evolved into Balboa. Ice Pokemon have not been so easy to come across in your journey. In fact, you might have noticed this, but so far in this journey you haven't encountered a single one of them. I wonder why that is. But it should just help to make this gym a little bit more challenging. Oh, You beat my Harrapin! Okay, no problem. Fury Pin, you're up! This is Harrapin's evolution, Fury Pin, the Sky Knight Pokemon. Questioning its reckless actions as a Harrapin, it's taken on a lot more responsibility. As a Knight of the Sky, it protects its children, and while it does have access to that deadly poison, it tries as much as it can not to use poison attacks, preferring to engage opponents in honorable combat. It's still a flying poison type though, and perhaps if you train your Harrapin enough, yours will evolve too. Another one falls from the skies. Zolossus, let's go! A battle here between Zolossus and Tyclone would be very cool, but thanks to Zolossus having the Delta Stream ability, you'd really be in for a challenge with that, as it starts blowing you away with Hurricane. Oh, but that's just the beginning. Me and my flock have this. Go, Spook Hoot! Whoa, a new regional evolution of Hoot Hoot. It's Spook Hoot, a flying dark-type Pokemon, known simply as the Nocturnal Pokemon. They cannot be found in the wild, but if you caught a Hoot Hoot and evolved it here at night, it would become this Pokemon. Able to stretch its shadowy claws and engulf its opponents, it is traded flight for fright. Legitimately, that's what the Pokedex says. Anyway, Spook Hoot is a fearsome opponent, and as you can't exploit its usual weaknesses of bug or fighting on the dark end, it's gonna be a little bit of a challenge, but at this stage in the game, I believe in you. Oh, you're winning! Fine, take to the skies, my final Pokemon! Go, Griffoon! It's been a long battle, but there's still one more new Pokemon. This is Griffoon, the Sky Protector Pokemon, and this was the Pokemon that you saw earlier while you were on the cable cars. In a flock of Harrapin, there is always one of these Pokemon. Ancient warriors would ride them through the skies. This Griffin Pokemon is an important part of Solympia's ecology. It's said that when there's a Tempest, these Pokemon are able to bend the air currents, keeping Solympia in the eye of the storm and completely safe. If these Pokemon were to completely disappear from the island, people think that Solympia would be in great danger. It's a flying type Pokemon with a lot of bulk and a lot of speed, so do not underestimate it. Wow, what can I say? You truly are a Pokemon champion. You know, they call me the trainer that rides on the wind. So many people see the Tempest as destructive, and others see them as protective to the island. But I don't think they're good or bad. They're just the movement of the wind. And what you make of that, well, that's up to you. Here, take this coin as a commemoration of your abilities. Now, if you wish to challenge the rest of the Pokemon League, both of the other gyms in Solympia are on the eastern side of the island. And luckily for you, the Great Bridge of Solympia runs behind the mountains, and you can take a shortcut through the ice path to your next gym. Or you can, now with the HM for Fly, travel anywhere across the island and sail from Rumbletown. The choice is yours. Oh, and before I forget, I have one more thing to say to you, Pokemon Master. Yes to you, who else would I be talking to? I hope you've been enjoying your adventure through Solympia so far. Wherever you go, and whether the adventure is good or bad, or whether you enjoy it or not, so much of what's happening is about the energy you bring. So wherever you go next, bring with you what you want and leave behind what you don't. Just something I wanted to say. I just feel like soaring away now, and I'm sure we'll meet again one day. Soar high, Pokemon Masters. Wow, that was a tough Pokemon battle. A short rest in the Pokemon Center is definitely needed, but it turns into a longer rest as you are absolutely exhausted. You got up so early to cross the bridge that in fact the sky is barely lit, with the moon still high in the sky. You've been training a lot, and now you're taking on the long great bridge of Solympia from the Nest in the west to Pinnacle Rock in the east, and this bridge line is very, very long. It's also very wide, giving plenty of room for trainers and places where grass and vines overgrow, making it a good hiding spot for Pokemon. And in the distance, past Mount Solympia, is a big white cloud that will likely lead you to the ice path where you are going.
6 gym coins, huh? You might not be so bad.
If you want to cross this bridge, you'll have to pay the toll. A battle with me.
Wow, you could be a champion. Oh, and look at that! Your Pokemon's evolving!
After a little training, you're likely to evolve some of your existing Pokemon and of course encounter some new ones. Let's focus on some evolutions first. First up, if you caught yourself a Cerebat, it will likely evolve into a brand new Pokemon at night. This will attack you on the bridge as well. It's called Vamprain, and it's the psychic flying mind-munching Pokemon. It uses a psychic-type version of Giga Drain that is its signature move and saps people of their health just by staring at them. It's known to hang under the Great Bridge of Solympia during the day, hiding within the pillars, and as a result, only those of strong will can cross the bridge. Let's take a look at the next Pokemon to evolve. It's a Dorsum into a Jawsum, the awesome jaw Pokemon, and it's changed from a water rock type to water steel. Using moves like Sword Dance and Iron Defense, its jaw is not actually its mouth, but more swords that are entirely used for combat. When it slices its prey, it ingests the nutrients through its liquid body. A terrifying Pokemon that's found quite the ecological niche. There are a number of other Pokemon of yours that might evolve, but I'm wanting to save a few surprises for the end of the series, which by the way, might be coming a little bit sooner than you think, as the rest of the episodes are not going to be weekly, but daily from here on out. So you won't have to wait that much longer to see. There is one more Pokemon that may appear in the early morning sky of Solympia. A herd, in fact, that are flying over the bridge of Solympia from who knows where across the sea. This Pokemon is Manatee, first discovered by a true green professor. This Pokemon is not from the Solympia region, but it's not from Ascent or any of the other regions that we know of so far. It's actually quite a mystery as to where this Pokemon is from. Their gentle herds float across the early morning sky to mark the passing of the night. It is a single stage psychic Pokemon, but every morning they'll be here if you want to add one to your Pokedex. Oh, it's cold this morning. As you walk along the bridge, you realize just how cold it is. The wind up here blows with quite a force, and only hardy trainers can bear such gales. However, you're surprised when out of nowhere a blast of heat whooshes past you. Perhaps the sun is rising and... Wait, no, it's... Whoa! A ball of fire stops mid-air and spreads its wings. It's like the Pokemon from before.
Heliphos! It appeared to you, champion? Just like Osiris before? Tell me, did you see one like it in the forest? That was Gaianis. They are the 3 Titan Pokemon. Surely remarkable that they should appear before you. Perhaps checking you out, smelling something from the outside. I know them better than most. Apologies I did not introduce myself before. I am Animos, former gym leader of Kakarios Town, the place you simply know as the Lost Village. I see you have my coin. You must have gotten that from the child who came before you. She seems to understand the way things are. Tell me, champion, do you wish to know more about the legends of this island? I can tell you everything you need to know.
Animos!
Odius, how nice of you to grace me with your presence.
Hello, old friend. Champion, I sensed something was wrong, so I came to see what was happening. Is everything okay here?
Odius, your senses are off. You should have appeared at Seacastle or Kakarios Town when the Draken was enraged, when Team Snooze began disrupting the balance of this island. How dull your senses must be to think that inviting champions from other regions is a good idea.
Animos,
Where is the sense in you abandoning the people of Kakarios Town? This one didn't even know the town had a name.
Animos! What you did a decade ago, waking the legendary Pokemon, starting a Tempest, it was wrong. I will not go through this with you again.
When so many other Tempests throughout history are right, who are you to judge when it's just nature running its course and when we should intervene? I'm a Solympian, same as you. It's my right as much as yours.
I was angry. I shouldn't have pushed you as I did. Your concern for this island, your love for it, brought about a Tempest. By your will, this entire island was stopped in time, isolated from the rest of the world at a time when the world was more connected than ever.
To preserve what we have!
Or to lose our place in the world. I'm not saying it's my right or yours. It is no one's right to wield such a great power. Though I know you don't agree.
There is no will of the island, only the will of us, the Solympians.
That is where you are wrong.
Well, if that's the case, then the island willed for me to win, to waken the legendary Titaphon.
In hindsight, you're right. You were right, and I'm sorry. Your people deserved better. Kakarios deserves better.
That's one for the ages. I was right then, huh? And now we air our dirty laundry in public. You know where I'm going, Odius, do you not?
To see Phrygia, I see. She knows us both. If her counsel should take you to the shrine, then so be it.
You won't try and stop me?
Oh, I will. But only if you make it to the summit of Mount Solympia. I will battle you in the sight of all Solympia. I will not cast you out as I did before. I really am sorry. You can't know.
Words don't cut it. Only actions. I shall see you, champion. And you, champion.
Oh, that was intense. Sorry, you probably had no idea what was going on, champion. Let me share something with you. Animos and the other gym leaders all used to be friends. We held court in Aetheron City, tournaments and games on Mount Solympia. And when great demons fell from the sky or rose from the sea, we fought them back together. We gave prayer to the 4 Titan Pokémon that they may protect Solympia from the outside world. And a decade ago, it was Animos who sought out the Titans and awoke Titaphon, causing a great tempest. 10 years is a long time to be isolated from the rest of the world. People like your rival Cass have spent most of their lives in this bubble, and now, having spent so much time away from the rest of the world, adapting to change is hard. I understand Animos' worry. Outsiders like Snooze are indeed clumsy. But this is an adjustment we must get used to if we are to progress. This time, when I fight Animos on Mount Solympia, I will give him an honorable and fair fight. For now, I believe you're heading east into the mist of the Ice Path and onto the Pinnacle Rock. There is an entire domain inside where you'll find the Ice Gym leader Phrygia. I wish you luck against her. She's a cold one. Thundra to the skies!
Well, that was something. Sounds like a whole lot of drama to me. Heck, you're just here to have a good time and see new Pokemon. However, it looks like your journey is taking you this way anyway, and the chances of encountering a new legendary Pokemon just seem to get higher with each step you take. You're about halfway across the bridge, so currently you're behind Mount Solympia and the heat of Heliphos has gone. Ahead lies the icy half of the bridge, the Ice Path. The bridge is wider than it looks, of course, and there are patches of snow where ice Pokemon for the first time in this region will start appearing. Just take a look at this little fella. Aww, this is Sleetle, the snow poop Pokemon. This bug ice type is a dung beetle that poops, you guessed it, snow. There's actually no saying how much of it is on your shoes right now, but it'll just melt away later anyway, and it's very clean. This Pokemon has a hidden secret though. It's an ability called Snowball, where in the hail, it actually has a second form. Oh, not so little anymore. Its Snowball gives it a huge attack and defense boost, and given that we know where this snow has come from, I wouldn't mess with it, but maybe try and catch a Sleetle to join your team. Another new Pokemon that you'll find along this bridge is Comice, and believe it or not, this Pokemon is actually the pre-evolution of Metean. It's an ice rock type with a higher health but less attack strength. It's the Comet Pokemon, and its Pokedex entry tells you that it cycles the island during a storm and heats up. As it heats up, it evolves and gets smaller and denser. Each Pokemon in its evolution line is a different type, and this Pokemon, you may want to pick it up just to fill out the Pokedex, or if you caught a Metean before, just keep training that. As you begin to skate your way through the trainers and across the ice and snow of the bridge, you break through the mist and into Pinnacle Rock, a network of tunnels that will surprisingly lead you straight to the icy domain. And this gym leader they spoke of before, Phrygia. But not before you get ambushed with one last new Pokemon, a regional variant that you've only ever heard about before today. Oh, cool. This is Solympian Onyx, and this is an ice Pokemon thought by scientists to be completely extinct.
Rumor has it that one was spotted by a glassmaker off the southern coast of Kanto, but that makes absolutely no sense. This icy Pokemon only lives in complete isolation and hibernation from the rest of the world. This Onix will of course as well evolve, so consider adding one to your team.
Freeze, you! Put that Pokeball down! You leave my precious Pokemon alone!
Oh, who is she? She's got a bit of an icy stare. She's glaring at you, ready to battle.
This is the Ice Domain, and these are my Pokemon to protect. Go back to where you came from and leave the Pokemon alone.
She's readying her Pokeball for a battle and looks pretty angry with you. Could this be the Ice-type leader Phrygia?
You should have more respect for the wild Pokemon here. It's time to battle.
Whoa, what was that?
It came from deep within the domain. You wait here. I'm gonna see what that was.
Phrygia has disappeared through the icy domain. You might want to give chase. While you navigate through, wild Vamprain, Solympian Onix, and Sleetle appear, as well as one new Pokemon.
It's Walrice. Walrice is the blubber Pokemon, and its internal body heat is actually surprisingly high given where it lives. It loves to sleep, and while scientists at first believed it was closely related to Walrein, through convergent evolution, it's actually more similar to Snorlax. With moves like Rest, Snore, Ice Beam, and Hail, it'll certainly add some bulk to your party.
Alright, I just caught a Walrice.
Focus, Crash. We need to keep blasting through the icy domain. Basically, no one lives here. If we can open up these caves, this will be a perfect place for Snooze Land. A perfect resort where people can come to chill out.
Sorry, Mello. But blasting these caves is exhausting work, and nothing wakes me up like catching a new Pokemon.
You! What in the world are you doing?
Huh? This lady has an icy stare. What's your problem?
You can't be doing that! Stop damaging the caves!
Why? No one lives here.
I live here, and so do the Pokemon.
Oh, but that's okay. See, Snooze Land is for everyone, people and Pokemon alike. And if I catch all the sleepy Walrice, then I can give them out to other Team Snooze grunts. I'm sure they'd appreciate their new homes.
That's it. You have to be stopped. You there. If you are in defense of Pokemon kind, join me and let's battle these two.
Whoa, this is cool. You're teaming up with a gym leader to take on Crash and Mello in the biggest battle you've had yet. Here they come. Don't slip up.
Wake on up, slacking!
Give her a scare, Spookoo.
You better send something out too. Maybe your starter will do the trick.
Oh no, my Pokemon! Return! Go, Steelix!
Whoa, Phrygia has just sent out a Solympian Steelix, the evolution to Onix. You don't have much time to check out its Pokedex entry, but you can see its defense is huge, with ice as hard as steel.
Finish him off, Snorlax!
Check out my new Walrice!
I've still got more to go. Let's go, Wolvor!
Take them on! Go Slumber!
Looks like Slumber still hasn't evolved any further. I wonder if it will. As for Mello's Pop-Off, it is now fully evolved into Wolvor from Norclo. You can see it feels very at home in this icy cave.
Do you ever think being Team Snooze is just too much work? Maybe we should just lie down.
I'm sorry, Mrs. Ice Lady. We just wanted to create a new space for people and Pokemon.
This is what you off Islanders don't understand. There is a time and a place for this kind of thing. Perhaps in Seacastle Town or Rumbletown, if you go through the proper channels, a Snooze Land could be a very nice thing to build. But not here. You may have noticed ice Pokemon don't exist anywhere else in Solympia. This is the only place for them to roam and be free.
What do you think, Crash? Maybe we should head back to Trickletown and talk with Professor Dodona about starting small and building something up.
You know what? That sounds pretty relaxed to me.
Well, that's them gone.
Ugh, teams across the Pokemon world, they'll never learn. You there, thank you for helping me out. I've not really introduced myself. My name is Phrygia, gym leader of the Icy Domain and protector of Pinnacle Rock. Tell me, are you a gym challenger? From another region? So you're the one Animos was talking about. Animos has been a friend for a long time. The last time I saw him this side of the island, though, was many years ago. You see, through this mountain there are two pathways. One leads back to the sea, which takes you to Rumbletown. The other is a sacred pathway. Only those who defeat me in a gym battle can find it through the mist and the snow. Would you like to know which way Animos has gone? To protect the Pokemon that live here and that's secret, I must battle everyone who comes this way. Those two Snooze grunts failed, and they go back to Rumbletown. Will you pass my test? Here, I'll heal your team and mine. Only then is it a fair challenge.
Now your battle against Phrygia begins, and it starts with her sending out...
Go, Sleetle!
An ice and bug type that's going to be very weak to fire moves, so if you have one, use it quickly, but it's going to be downhill from here as you are in for a world of trouble.
Fine, it was already weakened from my recent battle. Go, Walrice!
This Pokemon has water type moves, perfect for countering your firepower, and forces you to think on your feet. None of the flying types from back of the nest will help you here.
Well played. Go, Steelix!
Here it is again, the Ice-type Solympian Steelix.
Use Icicle Crash.
This thing may have taken a hit in the last battle against Team Snooze, but it seems quite unbreakable. It's going to be a wall to get past.
Fine then, it's time for my final Pokemon. Go, Divern!
Whoa, a new Pokemon. This is Diavern, the Diamond Sky Pokemon. This dragon was thought for a long time to be made of diamonds because the sunlight would cause its body to weep and glisten in the sun. As a result, it was hunted to near extinction.
My Divern is the reason I protect this domain.
Wielding both dragon and ice moves, you'd be silly to send out a dragon Pokemon to counteract it, but you have 6 coins already, and winning the 7th will be no different for you.
My Divern! You truly are a Pokemon champion. You win. You truly are a champion. Go forth. If you wish to follow Animos, he went down through the icy domain to Rumbletown. He spoke to me at length about Odius. I think he wishes to speak with him more. However, there was another trainer who headed to the other path, the sacred path to the Sky Temple. Her name is Cass. A very capable trainer. She had a passion I truly admired. If you wish to follow her and find your way to the Sky Temple, just climb the stairs behind me out of the domain. Oh, and here. You might find that the Pokemon in the domain are more friendly towards you when you carry that. Also now use this final ability, Strength, outside of battle. Any Pokemon strong enough can gently move boulders out of the way, including the ones Team Snooze left behind by blasting rocks. If you see Odius, do me a favor and bring him down a peg, will you?
Wow, you now have 7 coins, meaning there's just 1 left to go. From here you can explore the icy domain, and there's actually 1 more small Pokemon you can encounter, though it's quite rare. This is Kyo, the ancestor Pokemon. It's a nice rock-type Pokemon, said to be the ancient ancestor of fox Pokemon everywhere. It's gone extinct everywhere but here, and if you catch one, it'll certainly make for a playful partner. It's a reminder as to why Solympia needs to be cared for. As you ascend the stairs behind Phrygia, they go quite a way. The air gets colder, and as you ascend, you realize that you're no longer heading up stony steps of the cave, but instead the ground is softer. You look down at your feet. Is that a Zolossus? Are you walking on Zolossus? A whole family of them are huddled together, but they don't seem to mind you walking your way across them, and now you realize that you're walking among the clouds. As the mist around you begins to clear, you see a small shrine, seemingly sitting on the top of Zolossus. The area is actually surprisingly large, and there are actually wild Pokemon up here too. Both Harrapin and its evolution Furypin live up here in nests, and occasionally Griffoon can also be caught. They're ready to add to the team, and if you're very, very lucky, you may even see a Divern up here, sparkling in the sunlight, but your encounter chances are very, very low. But your focus is not on Divern or Griffoon or Furypin. Your focus is on the lady, kneeling in front of the shrine. Up here in this ancient protected Sky Temple, you see in front of you, it's Cass.
Little champ, do you remember? That day on Route 2, that gust of wind, the cleanest air, it was just a breeze beginning to swirl. The start of something. Perhaps a tempest.
Whoa! What was that?
Little champ, of course you're here. This palace. The Sky Temple. It's not like anywhere else in the whole Pokemon world. Did you know it doesn't exist during a tempest? All the Colossus scatter to the wind before one starts. Do you feel that breeze, little champ? It's a sign for you to finally leave this island, or else you'll be stuck here for good. And I would regret keeping you so far away from your home. We're quite alike, you know. I have my 8th coin, but rather than waste my time going to Mount Solympia to challenge the champion, I came here. Aetheron was supposed to do this, but he changed his mind. Why? Was it 'cause of you? I bet you got in his way somehow. When a tempest ends, no matter how long it persisted, a month or a year, the Colossus gathered back here. They haven't been here in nearly 10 years. I wonder if my Tempest will last that long. Time without the rest of the world, those Team Snooze grunts, invasive Pokemon species, and people like you, mocking us with your grandeur. Another 10 years without all that, where kids in Trickletown can grow up and not have their lives uprooted by people coming and going. 10 years, at which by that time, I will be the champion, the will of the island. And with my new Pokemon, I can make it happen! You met it once before, remember? That day, our second battle. It's chosen me, and now, it's time to blow you away! Go, Titafon!
Thundra, away! Champion, I felt a disturbance from the top of Mount Solympia. Is that Titafon? Titafon has been awakened! Cass! Don't do it!
Titafon! Blow them away!
Whoa, I know I said to soar high, but you're falling through the sky. It looks like Cass has awakened the legendary Pokemon Titafon, and you are falling through the sky. Some Zolossus are racing towards you to try and catch you, but you're falling too fast. You're gonna... Wait, where are you? Are you on some metal?
Ahoy there! And who might you be, small fry? Dangerous being out in the open water like that. Draken and the other wild Pokemon swim around. That's not even to mention the wild Aggron, with their fearsome teeth ready to snap you up.
Did he just say Aggron? Where are you?
Look, you! Snap to it! Wait, that's my super rod on your back. Fear not, you can keep that one, for I have another! Ha ha ha! You landed on my shore. Welcome to Milantis, the greatest city in all of Solympia. I can see you're confused. My name is Galacos, and this is my island. There are no wild Pokemon here. This is the greatest nation of warriors in all of Solympia. My daughter is even a member of the Elite Four. Daddy is so proud. A tempest, you say? A mighty storm? No matter, the great city of Milantis cares little for the will of storms. We have a special secret, you see. I say, I get the impression you're a Pokemon trainer. If you beat me in a battle, I'll tell you a secret that only the champion knows. Prepare yourself, for I am Galacos of Milantis, warrior general and gym leader of Solympia.
Oh wow, and with really no time to breathe at all, here it is, your 8th gym battle with this Galacos, and it's apparently underway.
Haha! Are you ready? Go! A Jawsome! I choose you!
Huh, a Jawsome, a Pokemon you've seen before in the evolution of a Dorsum. Okay, you're having some water thrown in your face, no big deal.
You know, many of my rivals think of me merely as a steel leader. And whilst I am the master of metal, I also specialize in water-type Pokemon. A perfect type combination with so few weaknesses. Go, Explamari!
This is Explamari, the grenade Pokemon, and in fact it's known for causing ships problems with its explosion and self-destruct, both of which with its ability allow it to survive with just 1 HP, but it's also got the ability to make them a stab steel move, dealing double damage. This gym leader has 2 of them. Oh, go, 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 you're gonna have to outmaneuver this one.
Three Pokemon down, no biggie. Go, Duncraft!
Whoa, nice! This is a Duncraft, and this Pokemon has come over from the Ascent region, and it's the evolution of Torpices. A Pokemon you haven't even seen yet, but likely they're swimming around Milantis and are catchable with the Super Rod. Another Water Steel type, a combination that is only weak to Electric, Ground, and Fighting, so at this point you're going to have to use at least one of those. You'll have your Embass or your Saticorn's Earthquake, or perhaps you've got an Erodent or a Cyrox from the beginning of the journey still with Brick Break as your main option. If you didn't catch or train any of these Pokemon though, it's going to be a tough battle.
Now for my final assault! Go, Squibboom!
This is Squibboom, the tank Pokemon, and the evolved form of Explamari. Both it and its pre-evolution have come from another region and are the arch nemesis to the Draken population, making Draken in this region super rare.
Go! Use Hydro Cannon!
It's a powerful move, and you'd like to think that this is the end of the battle, but this is not his final Pokemon.
Fine. You have a heart of steel, and you move like water. But do you have what it takes for my ace? Come forth, Aggron!
And here it is, after almost a whole adventure, we finally get to see Solympian Aggron. In this region, it's adapted from Lairon to leave the ground entirely, and with its armored plating, it has no predators. In fact, this form of Aggron is far more social than its home counterparts, and a basque of these Aggron and Solympia will team up, following a leader to terrorize a shoreline. Occasionally, rivalries will begin within the groups of Aggron, so their armors can be seen with the bite marks of other Aggron.
Aggron, use Crunch and hit them with Iron Tail! Whoa, you're strong! My Aggron! Well, what can I say? You certainly are a powerful Pokemon trainer. As part of the Pokemon League, it's my duty to bestow one of these upon you. Though tell me, what is a small fry like you doing all the way out here? Fell from the sky. I see. You must have seen the legendary Titofon, a flying dark type. It's known as the Tempest Pokemon and is a demon to those caught within its tempestuous winds. They say those who are trapped within it are stuck in time. Very overdramatic, I do say. See, this city Milantis is a metal city, one that can move propelled by our Pokemon under the waves. A Tempest means nothing to us. We've been bringing technology from outside the storm to the island for eons. That is the secret only the champion can know, of course. It makes sense. How else would Solympia be able to survive such a time? Still, we can't let everyone know, or it would simply be chaos. Haha. But if Titofon is being awakened, and truly you wish to leave, this will always be an option for you, so don't fret. Just focus on becoming the best. Now, if you surf west, you'll find your way to Rumbletown. From there, you can begin your ascent to Mount Solympia, and then onto the Pokemon League. Good luck, my champion, and fare thee well from my city of Milantis. Ha ha!
Wow, he was an interesting character, and this is quite a wild place. As you walk around this safe haven, you can talk to any of the NPCs, and you'll learn far more about Milantis and how it's been bringing supplies to and from the island of Solympia for years.
how many residents across Solympia have moved in and been integrated over the last decade while a Tempest has been going? It's all very secretive here, but apparently that is a plan put in place to protect the wild Pokemon populations of Solympia, as dramatic changes can be seen as damaging. The only people who seem to know are the residents of Milantis and perhaps the Elite Four. There is one NPC who will offer you an egg before you leave, but for the last part of this episode you'll discover that it's actually a new Pokemon. This is Egglectric, the electric dragon type Pokemon. Exciting. No one is quite sure what's inside because if you get too close it is to suffer an electric shock, but when people speak of it, they say they see 3 separate sets of eyes inside the egg. What could this become? If you use your Super Rod specifically around the edge of Milantis, you will find Torpices and Explamari, as well as have the ability to evolve your Lairon if you caught an Aron at the beginning of the adventure into Solympian Aggron, so feel free to bulk out your team a little. At this point in the story, there are only a few new Pokemon left to show up. I've admittedly been saving some cool evolutions for you, but pretty soon you might get to see what some of those evolutions actually are. Anyway, it's time to surf back towards Rumbletown. With what feels like a Tempest brewing, you know that the technology of Milantis is the only way that you would ever be able to leave the Tempest if it starts. Maybe you should just return home, but no. You have your 8 gym coins and you know that not all outsiders are bad. You need to find Cass and her Pokemon Titafon and stop them before it's too late. Surfing east and heading towards Rumbletown, you will encounter a few Pokemon on the water. Temferno and Warrice both roam these oceans, as well as Draken, which if you want one, you now can finally catch. It's an incredible Pokemon, and with its Dark Dragon typing, it would make a fine addition to anyone's team. Additionally, you can find Explamari and Torpices, and watch out with what you're reeling in with that Super Rod. Aggron can be found, but it's very, very rare. You might also notice that as a result of past battles, 2 more regional evolutions are about to happen. It's finally time to see what Doublade and Kadabra become. Here they go. And here we have it. This is Solympian Aegislash, a noble sword pulled out of the sea in a storm. Legends tell that the spirits of heroes themselves forge into this Pokemon. To wield one is to avenge the heroes of the past. It is a steel fairy type and an excellent addition to the team. And here is the other. If you evolved the Kadabra or caught an Abra earlier in the journey, you can now evolve it into a Solympian Alakazam. It is a psychic electric type, and its Pokedex entry tells us that this Pokemon aids heroes by teaching them great magic. With mastery over the elements, a storm that would plague a nation could in fact become this Pokemon's ultimate weapon against the forces of darkness. As you surf, you notice the storm is blowing and you are being pushed and pulled around in the water. You actually have very little control about where the wind takes you, and the waves get so aggressive that in fact, much like the rapid water in other regions, you're quickly forced onto the beach back at Rumbletown, which is where you are heading anyway.
Crash, did you hear that crash? Crash?
I did. That tree fell over right in front of me, Mello. I could have been squished.
Oh, I'm glad you weren't. I don't know what I'd have done without you.
Mello.
Crash, Oh, it's you.
The champion from Off Island. What are you doing here?
Never mind that, you interrupted. Never mind, take this. Finish them, Spook Hoot.
You and me together, Mello. Go, slacking.
Whoa, looks like you've interrupted something important. Let's get this out of the way quickly.
I'll always fight when Mello needs me to. Come on out, Walrice.
Oh, Crash, I can't stand it anymore. Who needs Snooze Land? We have everything we need right here. Let's show him, Snorlax.
Okay. This is getting kind of strange. Let's just try and focus on taking them down.
Since we got back to Rumbletown, I caught a Snooze and trained it up to be just like yours, Crash.
Wait, you mean...
That's right, go Dozermon!
I have one just like that. Dozermon, I choose you too!
Whoa, okay, this is a new Pokemon, and if I'm not mistaken, this is the final evolution of Snooze. This is Dozermon? Is that
Is that really its name? This Pokemon is a normal type with a huge attack power. According to its Pokedex, this is the most recent Pokemon to be discovered in Solympia. Discovered when Team Snooze leveled up their Slumber while it was asleep, and they got naming rights over this Pokemon, which is why it's called Dozamon, a new true Team Snooze mascot.
For Snoozeland?
For Team Snooze.
We'll never be able to build a Snoozeland if we keep losing, but it doesn't matter.
You're right, because we have the only thing that matters.
Each other.
Oh, Crash.
Oh, Mellow.
It looks like, the sweetest of dreams for Team Snooze.
Okay then. Well, I'm glad it worked out for them. I guess. Was that a plot line all along? I mean, with the palm trees blocking your way back to Rumbletown and being unable to fly in this storm, your only option is to take Route 3, the coastal route that leads back to Trickletown. As you walk along the path, there are plenty of trainers in front of this original route that will be ready for a rematch with their Pokemon at a much higher level.
Didn't I battle you on Route 1? Finally, it's time for some payback.
Blimey, your Pokemon are stronger than this wind.
Aren't you supposed to be some kind of hotshot trainer or something?
However, as you train along this route and battle opponents, the weather changes drastically. First, the wind blows, leaves dance around you, and you recognize a face that you saw once in the Elderwood Forest. It's Gionis. It's flying around you, and now you get to look at this Pokemon and you learn its Pokedex entry. Gionis is the Earth Mother Pokemon. Riding on the wind, it carries seeds and berries across the earth, fertilizing the land. In ancient times, it was decided that this Pokemon must have planted a seed in the ocean, and when that seed grew, it became the Solympia region. Gionis will look at you, but as rain begins to fall, Gionis disappears, and it now appears on your map, being in the Elderwood Forest Temple, should you want to battle it. The rain continues to pour, and as you make your way along the route, soon a puddle becomes pools of water, and from one of them rises a face that you remember from your time in Kakariko's town. It is Ositus, the Sea Protector Pokemon. It's a water-type Pokemon, and the Pokedex will tell you this: that there was a time where there was no land, only ocean, and the sea sacrificed part of itself that people and Pokemon might live, and this lost appendage became Ositus, who continues to offer us the gift of life as a sign of the ocean's goodwill. It cries out, and as it does, the skies begin to clear. It washes itself away into the ocean, and it will now appear on your Pokedex on the Nightmare Isle Cave. On the bridge, the sun beams hotter than you expected. A powerful blast of warmth passes you like a fireball, and the flying fire-type Helifos soars into the sky, the Sunchild Pokemon. The Pokedex reads that once Mount Solympia was much larger and its tip touched the sun. Its tip caught fire and burned away, and that ember that remained became Helifos. Its warmth allowed people and Pokemon to survive off the island, or so the legends say. Your Pokedex says this as you watch it fly into the distance. This Pokemon will now appear on Victory Road, the climb to Mount Solympia's tip. As this Pokemon passes you, you'll make it all the way around the route, and you'll find yourself face to face with someone from the beginning.
Hello there, champion! I say, what extraordinary weather we're having. I can see everything. I know this is no ordinary weather, and I saw Cass not long ago storm through here and to Mount Solympia. She's gone to challenge the champion and perform some sort of ritual. The ritual of the Tempest. The future is unclear. Past tomorrow, I cannot see. Champion, if you wish to return to the outside world, to the other regions of our planet, then now is the time. Get on a boat and set sail. If the Tempest begins, you'll be trapped here for who knows how long. You wish to help? To stop a new Tempest from ever starting? If you fail, dear champion, you'll have to live here for however long the Tempest lasts. That could be months. It could be years. Legends speak of 100-year Tempest. Cass's will is strong. Surely the storm would be a long one. Are you sure you would not rather leave? You'll stay and try to stop the Tempest. I should have known. I'm supposed to be able to see things, you know. But still, past tomorrow I cannot see. Go to Route 1, north to the Solympia Passage. Our friend Professor Lawrence has been using his Snubble to carve out new habitats. In doing so, he has reopened an old path that leads up to Victory Road. From there, you'll meet the champion at Mount Olympia's peak, the Pokemon League. Go, dear trainer. Time is of the essence.
Well, Pokemon Masters, what can I say? It seems like you're now heading up through the Solympia passage, up Victory Road. This path is winding and ducks in and outside of the mountain. Many powerful trainers train here, as well as plenty of powerful Pokemon ready to join your team, including Zlumba, Snorlax, and Embarrass, high-level Cyrox, and more. In the outside areas, gusts of winds and changing weather makes traversing unpredictable, and as I mentioned earlier, along this path, the Pokemon Helios appears, and in fact, if you were to detour around the region before coming to challenge the Elite Four, you could add all 3 of the legends to your team. It looks like this is it. You and your team, whoever you've chosen, are heading to the final challenge. And I want to know who your teams are in the description down below. However, if you caught a Kyo, a Metean or Comice, a Ponyta or Rapidash, an Arachnid or a Whimper, you might want to keep them to hand, as they may well evolve as you take on the Pokemon League.
As you seem to be approaching the peak, you spot something in the distance.
You come to a door with small 8 indents in it. They're perfectly sized for your gym coins, proof of you beating the Pokemon League. You place your coins inside the door and the stone slabs begin to open. You step inside the first chamber and come face to face with someone you've met a few times before.
Welcome, little champ. When Cass came through here, I thought it was only a matter of time before you followed. You have a true rivalry. I had a rivalry like that once. Odius and I have clashed over the ages. I always felt like he singled me out. But now, in our old age, he finally extends an olive branch, apologizes, and gives me responsibility as one of the Elite Four. Before, I would have scorned him for giving me a role beneath him, but I recognize this for the opportunity it is. Perhaps one day I can become champion myself too. But to become a champion, I must defeat champions, so I won't hold back.
And here he comes. Animos is ready to battle you with ghastly stats.
Go! Tri-Doom! Go! Shrill!
Starting as a double battle, as all battles will be in this Elite Four, in this team-up, Shrimp's Water and Tridoom's Fire can combine to create billows of mist that they can disappear into and hide, lowering your Pokemon's accuracy. But of course, the common theme here is the Ghost type. So if you picked up either of these Pokemon for yourself, or even have a Dark type Pokemon like Scarecrows or Hypnotrist, you'll be okay.
My friends, you will not be forgotten. Go, Palossand! Go, Samorg!
Simorg is a very powerful Pokemon, and if you have one yourself, they can blast each other with ghostly moves, but don't underestimate Palossand just because you've seen one before. With its Shadow Ball and Earthquake, this duo will attack you from the ground and from the sky.
Fine, time for my truest champion. Go, Whizcurse!
This is Whiskers and the evolution to Whimper. If you caught one earlier, you may have evolved into this Pokemon already, but I wanted to save this one for a surprise for this battle, as well as for the upcoming Elite Four battles, where there'll be all sorts of Pokemon that you haven't seen. Whiskers is the Scaredy Cat Pokemon and can disappear into the mist of the night. Only trusted trainers get to feel how soft its fur really is, and it's known for getting into screeching matches with others of its kind at night in alleyways. The ultimate ghost Pokemon, it brings to the table Shadow Ball and a powerful Lick Attack, Assist, and a new move called Shadow Paw. A move that is either physical or special depending on what would do more damage. This is not a Pokemon to mess around with.
Whiskers, use Shadow Paw! Whiskers! So, that was what the Outsider has to offer. You outsiders, you're not so bad. Maybe we could learn a thing or two from you. Congratulations, champion. The remaining 3 members are tougher than I. I only got this position in the Elite Four because I was unable to challenge my way any further. Oh, you thought I would make an exception and allow you to bypass your way to the summit? A decade ago, I made a decision that affected the whole island. I made it alone, as if it was the island's will. It was wrong, but my determination wasn't even rivaled by Odius's. I won that battle. Only someone who proves themselves to be stronger than the Elite Four can stop her. Go, champion. Stop Cass if there's still time.
You blast through the doors into the next room, and you're met by someone you've only heard about briefly in passing.
Huh, well you're the one Herman was talking about. What, I'm down here? Just because I'm a kid doesn't mean you should underestimate me. They call me a prodigy. But I know what the rest of the Elite Four think. They think I'm only here because my dad's the champ. Well, I, Kelvin of the Elite Four, will keep on proving them wrong by stopping as many opponents as possible from coming through these doors. You say there's an emergency atop the mountain. The lady who was here before? Ha, good try. You're gonna have to battle to get past me.
And here we go, the battle with Kelvin begins.
Go, Flamingo! Go, Temfuro!
Wow, both of these Pokemon working side by side? That is an unusual sight. Still, a sunny day and a tailwind set up by Flamingo will keep ready the rest of the team going forward. And thanks to its temperature check ability, a Temferno with any water moves it decides to use may inflict burn in sunlight, so be careful. Still, if you have a powerful rock Pokemon like Cyrox, you may just stand a chance.
Things are just heating up! Go, Tridoom! Go, Metien!
Wow, Metien isn't even a fully evolved Pokemon. Tridoom certainly is. These guys are still pretty hardy though, especially given that Metien is holding an Eviolite, boosting its defense drastically. Still, you manage to push through.
I like your style. You got real potential. Go, Pegaseer!
And here we go, it's Pegaseer, the Sunwings Pokemon, and the evolution for Rapidash here in Solympia. This is also the final regional variant, and their rival to Tridoom. If you caught a Rapidash in your adventure, I would have assumed it would have evolved ages ago, but I was keeping this one a bit of a secret. Drawn in by its ceremonial fire, ancient gladiators would summit Mount Solympia to be on the back of a Pegaseer. These legendary heroes would have used this Pokemon to beat back the storm.
Wow, you're good! Maybe even as good as my dad. One day I'll be better than him too, you know. I won't be the next champion. That'll be Valkyrie, but I don't think I could beat her yet. Go further into the next chamber and meet your opponent.
The stone door opens and you are out onto the next room. The room you're in seems at first to be completely empty.
Well, hello there.
You hear an echo around the room.
Do you know my voice? Have we met before? Or is it all in your teensy-weensy head?
Oh, you really don't have time for this.
I can read your thoughts. You've seen legendary Pokemon, other regions, other Elite Fours. I see through your whole timeline. Time is just a perception of reality, you know. We view it through our mind's eye. And I, Sid of the Elite Four, say you do have time for all this.
The battle begins, and this guy, does he seem familiar to you?
Go! Vamprain and Alakazam!
Whoa, so this is a Psychic type Elite Four member, starting with Vamprain to drain your health with damaging Psychic attacks, and Solympia and Alakazam to hit for both Psychic and Electric moves. Your Dark and Ghost Pokemon might be a bit tired out from battles already, but if you have a powerful Bug Pokemon in the form of Hypnotic or Sleetle or Escarclo, maybe they can be of some help here.
Nice job. Go, Z-Volve and Raichu.
More tricky type combinations, but nothing you can't handle.
Well, I didn't want to have to bring it out, but you've given me no choice. Go, Arachne. I choose you.
This is Arachne, the Web of Time Pokemon. It's a Grass Psychic type, and according to its Pokedex entry, no one is sure where its time powers came from. It's thought that it does not eat those it captures in its web. Instead, they just seem to disappear completely. Many people claiming to be time travelers say they were captured by this Pokemon.
Huh. You know, I see in your mind a worry for this island. Well, don't fret, you only have one more opponent before you reach the top of Mount Solympia. Valkyrie is the best of us. She'll likely become the next champion when Odius steps down. Watch out for her, for she's as tough to break as stone.
As you head through some heavy stone doors, you'll reach the final chamber at the top of the mountain. You're nearly outside, and as you head for the door, you think you might be able to skip past this battle. Until...
Stop! My name is Valkyrie, sworn guardian of Mount Solympia. While Odius is the will of Solympia, I protect that will. Only those who defeat me are worthy of the honor of his presence on the battlefield. I am here to test you. What's that you say? Another Tempest will come if I don't stop it. Tempests come and go. That is the will of the island. I obey the island's commands. I have an oath, and I remain sturdy. Go, Kyoki Kyoki! Go, Cyrox!
And the battle is on, starting with a Cyrox and a Kyoki Kyoki. This is the evolution of Kyokyo, and would be a Pokemon that you would have attained if you had evolved yours with an Ice Stone. It is the last stand Pokemon, and according to its Pokedex, all hope for its kind seemed lost when a Kyoki Kyoki couldn't keep up with the changing climate. Thankfully though, with an unrivaled determination, it used its Blizzard to protect a den of Kyokyo pups, and one line became the savior of the last 100 generations of this Pokemon.
Use Rock Slide, Kyoki Kyoki!
These are some hard smashing moves, and none of your starters are particularly advantaged here. You better save them for later. Perhaps a powerful water or steel type like Aegislash or Aggron would help here.
No problem. Drudigoyle, Chlorodon!
Chlorodon. This rock-smashing starter Pokemon really is something special, and will be scary to face, even if you did pick an Emble to start.
An immovable object. Go, Fragmite!
Whoa, this is an entirely new Pokemon, Fragmite. If you leveled up your Metean on Mount Solympia, it will have already evolved into this Pokemon. This little fella is a Rock Electric type. It is the new star Pokemon, and it may be the smallest of its evolution line, but it is by far the most powerful. After cycling the island and crash landing on Mount Solympia, the fragments that remain become this Pokemon. It can use electric, ice, rock, and fire moves, all with stab damage. And true attacks from this Pokemon always land a decisive hit.
Whoa! Can it be that you are strong enough to beat me? Then it is the case that you are worthy. I have nothing left to say. 2 losses in 1 day. Go on, Pokemon Master. Ascend to the top of Mount Solympia. Go on.
And with that, the final stone slab moves out of the way.
You finally reach the top of Mount Solympia.
From here, you can see the entire island. Or at least you would be able to, but a storm has begun. Wind swirls around you.
Cass, don't do this. Tempests are a natural part of this world, but are they truly for humans to use? Though we may begin them, we will never control them. This tempest may rage for merely a month or perhaps 100 years. You are making a choice for so many people. I implore you, stop! Ugh.
You call yourself the will of the island. How is it that you know what this island wants? I claim nothing of the sort. I just know that when outsiders started coming to this island 6 months ago, for the first time, it felt like my life got uprooted. The Pokemon of the islands became affected. Everything began to change. Huh. Well, look who it is. The Little Champ. I'll admit, Little Champ, you're the only Stormer I've met that I haven't been completely disappointed by. That Team Snooze. How could they think building hotels and disturbing the wildlife could possibly be a good thing? You came here with nothing but a wondrous sense of adventure. I think perhaps we are a lot alike. Still, you should have left while you still had a chance. I have defeated the champion. His Pokemon were no match for my legendary Pokemon. I am the champion now. I am the will of the island. Stormer, battle me. I am no villain. If you can defeat Titlephon, then the storm will subside. If you fail, I will make my will known and begin another Tempest. Let's battle for Solympia!
Wow, and here we go. You are off and your rival is now the champion. Like before, this will be a double battle scenario and you won't be healed up from your previous battles, so I hope you came well equipped with potions and revives.
Go, Hypnothic! Go, Hypnotrist!
The 2 hypnotic Pokemon, these will put your Pokemon to sleep and dance around them with tricky status moves. Still, thanks to their typing, each one of the starters, as well as any of the bird Pokemon of the region, will have a good start, but you're just warming up.
No problem. Go Tridoom! Go Dragon!
2 more powerful Pokemon, and the Draken is new. With powerful moves and a wide range of attacks, you'll struggle to make your way through this battle, but you have to win. You have to defeat them, even if it is just one at a time. You will take them down.
Fine. I found this fella in the Sky Temple and trained him up. Try and stop me. Go Serapin!
Whoa, a brand new Pokemon, Serapin. Serapin is the evolved form of Furypin and a Pokemon that will only evolve here on Mount Solympia. It is a flying fairy type and is the justified Pokemon. It knows it has made many mistakes and seeks its retribution, but it always does what it believes is right, even against the orders of its trainer.
Pointless. I really felt that Serapin would be a good addition to the team, but it felt like it was working against me. Still, I always have my starter. Go, Avalisk!
Here comes Avalisk. Avalisk is the highest level Pokemon you'll have to face, a pseudo-legendary of the region. It deals incredible damage and will mash its way through your team. Being the first of Cass's Pokemon, they have a special bond. If you were able to get hold of a Draken yourself, or perhaps even a Divern from Sky Temple, you'd be in a good spot for combining the powers of your well-trained team. Here on Mount Solympia, you and Cass are equally matched.
Avalisk, use Outrage! My first Pokemon for Solympia! No, Avalisk! My Pokemon! Still, I have 1 Pokemon left.
At this point, the battle cools down and you see a blur riding around on the tornado that now surrounds the top of Mount Solympia.
Sorry to break league regulations, but those 6 were just the start. I still have 1 more Pokemon. Titafon, come out! Let's throw this Stormer back in the sea!
It's a 2 versus 1 against Titafon, but don't think it will be easy, because in these weather conditions, it becomes its Earth Eater form. Able to cause constant tailwind for itself, it can attack multiple opponents at once.
Use Hurricane!
Champion, you must stop Cass. Use everything you have.
Whoa, that hit was super effective!
No! My Titafon! No! It cannot be. My Titafon! So then, the Tempest it won't begin after all.
Oh, well done. You truly are a champion.
I got beaten by an outsider. A Stormer. A champion. I clearly still have a lot to learn.
Cass, I understand your love for your home. I won't call you wrong or shame you for trying to start the Great Storm. I did that to an old friend of mine a long time ago, and I was wrong to do so. Just know this. There is a big and beautiful world out there. They have much to share with us, and we have much to share with them. Cooperation is needed to survive and to thrive. How do we go about this cooperation? We will need strong leaders, like you.
Like me? Surely you mean like you.
No, not this time. In this past day, you have defeated me, and you yourself have been defeated. I think it's time we hold a tournament for a new official champion. After all, I have much to learn myself. Champion, you have traveled this island and come all the way to here, but your journey is not yet over. Please, take this trophy as a sign for your completion of the Solympia League. Wherever your travels take you next, I hope you remember your time here. Cass, let us go for the sake of Solympia. There is work to be done.
Stormer! Champion. You truly have earned that title. Thank you for challenging me. I think, in my heart of hearts, I know that not all outsiders are bad. I hope you can forgive me for doing what I thought was right. But now that the battle is over, I'm glad that you stopped me. Good luck in the future, Champion. I'll be rooting for you.
Champion, congratulations. If you would like to finish your Pokedex, keep searching the island. You may even find me around and about. And of course, we will battle yet again. Thundra, go!
Well, congratulations, Pokemon Masters. You've traveled all the way across Olympia and met almost every kind of Pokemon there is to meet. Nearly. See, for all the times that Odius yelled, Thundra, you saw nothing but a bolt of lightning. If you caught all of the legends earlier, then you can actually return to the Sky Temple to battle and catch the legendary Titefon. Its Pokedex entry will read Titefon, the Tempest Pokemon. Some call it a guardian and others call it a demon. With its swirling vortex, time stands still and everything at the eye of the storm is preserved for as long as the storm will last. And if you go back to the lab in Rumbletown, you'll meet Professor Lawrence.
I say, hello there, Pokemon Masters. How goes it? If you're looking for Professor Dodona, I'm afraid you'll be awfully disappointed. He's gone. He said that he saw your victory on the mountain, and now he wishes to see beyond this island. Dodona has gone to explore the many regions of the Pokemon world. Perhaps he's off to visit Norclo. I'm staying here a little longer to continue my research. Tell me, how is your Pokedex coming along? I say, you've seen 139 Pokemon? There can't be that many more to find here on Solympia, although I've been tracking a signature around the island ever since your victory at the mountain. It would seem, perhaps something new has arrived. Or maybe, I don't know, something was already always here, in hiding. I can't say for sure, but if you follow the tracker, who knows what you'll find. As you travel around the island, you may meet the roaming legendary Pokemon Lagaladon. It's a two-formed Pokemon that is known as the Dragon Slayer Pokemon. The forms are Ground Ice and Ground Fairy types. The Pokedex entry reads, a long time ago, a great elemental dragon broke forth from a mountaintop and roamed the skies unchallenged. But what was left of the mountain transformed a wild Pokemon, and that Pokemon became Lagaladon. It tore the dragon into pieces. And with the mountain now fully undisturbed, people could settle, and Solympia was born. Now, for those of you with good memory, Pokemon Masters, you may remember that earlier you got a Pokemon called Electric, and I'll admit, you could have evolved it by now, but its evolution I've been keeping a secret for this final battle. With your Pokedex almost complete, you may find your way back to the Lost Village, now officially named on your map, Kakarikos Island. There you find the radio tower being repaired. The workers of the island seem more eager to chat with you and tell you that Odius is waiting atop the nearby lighthouse, looking out to the sea. So it looks like that's where you're going.
Huh? What was that? Out in the sea, did I see something fly by? Ah, well, hello, champion. I did not expect that you'd still be here. I have dedicated myself to settle in Kakrayer's village, so that I might help to rebuild a place I left behind. I hear Cass has gone traveling. Perhaps once she returns, I shall officially make the radio tower her gym. Or perhaps she will challenge the new champion. Whoever that ends up being. Will you enter the tournament for a chance to be our champion? No, I think it should be one of Solympia's own. I suppose you think that means we will never get a chance to battle, but of course! Who needs mountains and languages or tempests for two champions to challenge one another? Here on the roof of this lighthouse we'll do just nicely. Are you ready for the hardest battle in Solympia you'll ever have? Ha ha! Let's go! You are so incredibly strong, but can you take a hit from Fragmite? Well, in my travels, I've been lucky enough to meet Davern! But you are a powerful trainer, so perhaps you even have one of these yourself. Go! Thundra!
And here you have it, the last Pokemon that your Pokedex needs for now. This is Thundra, and Thundra is the evolution of Electric, and is the Hydra Pokemon. It's an electric dragon type that has quite the dex entry. This dragon was itself just a head severed from a great monster, and from that head a body grew and Thundra was born. It's said that the more powerful a trainer you are, the more heads a Thundra can have.
You and your partner Pokemon are truly champions. Perhaps it's time I traveled the world and met more people like you. It's only by doing so that I'll continue to get stronger. So you've battled everyone there is to battle. Caught every wild Pokemon there is to catch. But who knows what else is out there? What will you tell people of the Isle of Solympia? Did you enjoy your time here? Will you invite others back? Or will you go out there and have many more adventures in the world of Pokemon? As an old friend of mine once said, soar high, Pokemon Master.
It's now time for a special broadcasting from Professor Lawrence. Tamarack, my good man, it's me, Lawrence. I write this now at the beginning of the letter rather than at the end, in the hope that this letter should find you and you can read it in my voice, so that a part of me might make it back to Norclo. Things are looking awfully hairy out here. That Professor Dodona wasn't kidding when he visited us. He said a great storm surrounded the Solympia region, and by gosh, he was right. As I sailed my ship towards the heart of the storm, I heard the cry of a Pokemon, and sure of it, and just then my ship capsized and the storm took me. The Snabble I brought with me are okay, but I must say, they weren't too fond of going overboard. I went splash like a rock myself. I was lucky to wake up at all. I'm not currently on the mainland of Solympia, but I seem to be on some island that I say I've not seen on any of the maps we were provided. But when I washed up here, a fellow named Animos gave me a place to rest up. He is being incredibly generous and kind to me, almost as if the storm was somehow his fault. But I digress. Tomorrow I will explore this little island, and then before long I'll head off to Dodona's lab. I'll give him your kind regards, and hopefully what they say about the Tempest isn't true, and I can be back in the soft, snowy area of Norclo before long. I hope this letter finds you well, Tamarack. Cheerio! My dearest Tamarack, when I first washed up on this island, I spent longer than I intended in this abandoned village. The place is really called Kakarios Town. It's Animos' home, but the mainlanders of Solympia just refer to it as the abandoned village. Quite puzzling, given that there's quite a community of people that live here. They're a rather peculiar group of people, and it's not just the people. I found a new friend that I call Hermite. Hermite is a ghost Pokemon, and it's some sort of, well, hermit, and it'll
trade out pebbles with others of its kind, and it seems those with the biggest pebbles are seen as the highest on the social ladder. And what I love about this little fellow is, much like my Mortosaur and Fangray that I left back in the gym, oh, I do miss them, that Hermite has a connection to fossil Pokemon. See, since reaching Dodona's lab, I've learned that they evolve if you give them access to the fossils of the Kanto region, the Dome and Helix fossils. I have personally dubbed these Pokemon Kabutops and Omenstar. Wonderful name puns, I think they'll catch on. Oddly though, these Pokemon don't seem to respond to other fossils. Hermite seem to be very picky. It would seem at first to be rude of Hermite, that it might disrespectfully move into the skeleton of another Pokemon, but the longer I look at it, the more beauty I see in it. This ghost is doing nothing more than recycling a part of nature. The Kabutops and Omastar don't need their fossils anymore. In fact, these Pokemon never lived around these parts. The fossils have simply washed here from Kanto over the generations. No, they have no use for them. So Hermite grabs these fossils and repurposes them into a new home. The Tempest still rages, my dear fellow. It's been months. I wonder for how long this will be my home. But something else has piqued my interest. Dodona has told me of another Pokemon that may be related to Hermite, but not an evolution. He has described to me what it looks like, and I have decided it will be known as Scarodactyl. More research to be done. Tamarack, my friend, do you remember the fossil in the Pewter Museum? An Aerodactyl skeleton? That's right, they had constructed it at the Cinnabar Mansion. You know, the creepy place where all sorts of rumors about Pokemon experiments happened. That island is quite peculiar, I tell you. Anyway, it was a breakthrough in fossil and genetic study, a full Aerodactyl skeleton. Well, it is this shape that the mythical Pokemon Scarodactyl takes. That's right, I say mythical. Much like the relationship between a Carbink and a Diancie, this Pokemon appears to be connected to Hermite, but has not become a direct evolution. Its origins seem to be completely unknown. So Dodona and I have classified it as a mythical. Furthermore, there only appears to be one roaming the island, but it flies not around the skies of Mount Solympia, no, but instead sleeps like a bat in the tunnels of Mount Solympia itself. I think I should soon venture into the Solympia Passage and see if I can meet this Pokemon. My dear friend, Professor Tamarack, can you believe it's been a year, and on the horizon a tempest still rages? This island is quite peaceful, and I think I may be here for some time, and that wouldn't be so bad. Professor Dodona has taken me as his underling, and while I do miss Norclo, all is well. There is just one thing that bothers me. That Pokemon I mentioned before. I do hope these notes have been arriving in Norclo. Scarodactyl. I think I saw it once. Its amber body glistening under my flashlight. Its screech scared off some of my Snebel who went missing into the passage, and then it disappeared deep into the caverns, and I have been able to determine that it is a rock ghost type just like Hermite. That screech! It was spine-chilling. Scarodactyl, it gives me nightmares. Its body being this golden color like the amber that contains the DNA of an Aerodactyl. I found such amber down a well on Route 2, but something so small couldn't produce a whole skeleton. How would such an evolution even work? Scarodactyl seems entirely unlike Kabutops and Omenstar. I've tried giving old amber to my Hermite, but it just doesn't evolve. Further proof of this Pokemon's mythical status. Dodona and I are even beginning to doubt if these species of Pokemon are related at all, but it shares the same face as my Hermite. How can this be? To conclude, my dearest friend, Professor Tamarack, this will be the last time I write to you. The seas are rough, and the chances are none of my messages have washed up on your shore. Ho ho! It seems more likely that they're just stuck in a stream somewhere else on this island, waiting to be picked up by some passerby trainer. No, I say this is my last time writing to you. Dodona tells me that he sees this storm will last at least 5 more years. So he has set me up in a hut of my own just off Rumbletown. While I still have a fascination with this fossil Pokemon, I would rather like to learn more about the starters of this island. Did you know one of them, Twiguana, was thought to be an extinct species, but here in Solympia they can be found bathing in the sunlight from time to time, though not in the autumn. Trickletown is beautiful though this time of year. The trees turn a bright orange, and the nights come sooner, being ever so cozy. My Hermite and my one Snebel that remains keeps me company in my studies, and my home is warm. Still, there is something stirring out there in the darkness. As if awoken by the winter breeze that is coming, the cry of a Pokemon. Not the one that capsized my ship those years ago, but the one I saw in that cave. Scarodactyl. It may sound like a goofy name, but don't let it deceive you. I sometimes think I hear that screech coming from the Solympia passage. I know, somewhere on this island there is the lair of this beastie. When I first arrived here in Solympia, I met that man, Animos. He spoke of legendary Pokemon and how one started this Tempest. He also taught me valuable lessons. The darkness, the chill of the autumn turning to winter, that these unexplained lost evolution, these Pokemon terrors are somehow part of nature. He said, never forget this. Terror is terrifying, but it is also terrific. I shall continue to reside here on Solympia, but it'll take a trainer much braver than me to return into the foot of Mount Solympia at night and face whatever terror lives within. Goodbye for now, your dearest friend, Professor Lawrence.
Well, I say, what an adventure it's been. But the adventure isn't quite over yet. There's always the after story, and stories of mythical Pokemon exist. Here are just a few of the letters I've been writing.
To my friend and colleague, my dear Professor Dodona, since you have left the Solympia region, I have quite enjoyed my new position as this region's main professor. Fledgling trainers have been flocking to the lab in Trickletown to get hold of their first partner Pokemon, and thank you for telling me the secret locations of Twiguana, Enbrel, and Kinfisher. Now that I know them, I will be able to provide them to the trainers of Solympia. I hope you don't mind, I also shared their secret locations with the champion friend of ours from across the sea.
I say, their Pokedex entries registered 141 Pokemon.
But I noticed something, Professor Dodona. You programmed this Pokedex, and you programmed it so that the last mythical Pokemon we spoke of, Scarodactyl, is number 151. Implying, of course, that there are 10 other creatures that you have identified living in the Solympia region. Tomorrow, I'll be heading to Kakariko's town to meet with Odius. He is overseeing the repair of the gym and is turning it into some kind of battle tower. I shall sail out there to see if he knows anything. If anyone knows anything, it'll be him. I wonder if the challenger from off the island saw or heard anything on their adventure. It's a shame. I have no way to know if they're still on Solympia right now or not. Wish me luck, Dodona. Your friend, Professor Lawrence. My dear friend Dodona, what an exciting few days it has been. A week ago I left Trickletown, and while cutting through the Elderwood Forests, word came down from Aetheron City of a great wooden horse that has emerged from the ocean. The residents woke up in the morning, and there it was. At first, I wondered if this could have been a Pokemon, but it's far bigger than any Rapidash or Centurion. Reports describe it as an inanimate object, but distinctly mention an unsettling feeling when being around it. I had to head out there, of course, and I met up with Arya, and would you believe it? The champion! They are still here! When we approached the horse, the Pokedex pinged, and it seems that you've already put some information in here about it.
This is, as far as I can tell, number 143, Beta. A dark grass Pokemon?
The locals were murmuring, saying it was a great gift from Solympia, but then there were these vines inside that started wreathing around inside. It began to glow and attacked the city. A natural green plant started sprouting everywhere, as if it was carrying some sort of parasite. Nothing that Arya and the champion couldn't handle, of course, but this Pokemon was as strong as any legendary I've ever seen. What is this creature, and why does it appear now? Tomorrow, the champion will escort me through the Elderwood Forest, and we'll make our way to Kakariko's town. I need answers. Dodona, my dear friend, I really wish you hadn't left without telling me about all this. Clearly you knew something about these Pokemon. Last night we were ambushed by a group of creatures in the Elderwoods. I sat around the campfire with our dearest champion and we spoke of the horse Pokemon and its primordial power. And there in the woods the rocks began to shift and suddenly we were surrounded by creatures that the Pokedex registered as number 144. Kappa. This creature first seemed to be offering us that we go with it somewhere, but I felt a cold chill up my spine. When we seemed hesitant, they attacked. The champion and I fought side by side. I counted 6 of them that disappeared into the river. What are these strange Pokemon, and why is this happening now? We currently sail onwards to Kakarios Town. Dodona, what a revelation! I have met with Odius, and he said that last night he too was attacked by 2 unfamiliar Pokemon on the beach of Kakarikos. 2 strangers in black robes approached him, and before he knew it, they had transformed into Pokemon. As he described them, I was able to access the data for number 146 and 147 in the Pokedex. The first of these is Epsilon, a dark fire type oozing with red light. The other is Upsilon, a dark ghost type glowing with a purple light. At first I wouldn't have believed his description, but it wasn't just him. When I arrived here on Kakarikos, I looked out upon the water and I heard a song. It was beautiful and tantalizing. Out on the rocks in the ocean, I saw, what I thought to be was a woman, beautiful and singing. I was about to wade out into the water, and then I was overcome with dread, and my Pokedex beeped, snapping me out of it, and registered yet another of these creatures, number 145, Sigma. It then showed its true form. She screamed at me, enraged, and dived back into the waters. Beta, Kappa, Sigma, Epsilon, Upsilon, what are these creatures? All of them register as the primordial Pokemon. Their names are so strange, and they're all the dark type with the primal flow ability. When we were attacked by the Kappas, I believe I saw this ability in action. They seem to be more powerful in groups. Odius is searching the old radio tower at the gym. It was filmed with many books and notes about the region's history, although much of it has been lost since the renovations began. I will see what I can find. Wish me luck, Dodona. 100 years. There was, in ancient times, a 100-year tempest, or so the documents say. Have you ever wondered why it was so long? It seems that the tempest of Titaphons often caused the opening of whirlpools, chasms into something below Solympia's oceans. One such tempest started in history, and the primordials emerged. But 2 in particular worked together. With their primal flow ability, they boosted each other's powers, and ruled over the region in ancient times for 100 years. The first of these 2 is number 149. This is Delta, a dark dragon Pokemon, whose stare is said to be able to turn anyone or anything to stone. It is thought that this Pokemon ruled from the underpassage that connects Kakarikos to the Nightmare Island. From there it would take brave heroes who wandered into its lair to try and stop it and turn them to stone. It was especially difficult for anyone to stop it in ancient times because this Pokemon was not alone, and heroes, much like our new traveling champion, were few and far between because of a sense of fear created by number 148, Gamma. Thought to be the mind of the primordials, it exudes radiation, causing people to act out of character, making them live in fear and tossing their own Pokeballs into the ocean. Gamma and Delta led the primordials for 100 years, until they were stopped and sent back into the ocean. And these Pokemon, this description, the mind of the primordials, and this primal flow ability, it powers them up when they're together, which gives me a hypothesis. What if these Pokemon are all part of one larger being? Pokedex entries for Lagaladon and Thundra speak of a great creature in ancient times, stopped and split apart. It is thought perhaps that this is where Titaphon is from. All of these Pokemon represent different kinds of elemental powers. Perhaps causing the tempest, Titaphon, who is also a dark type, much like these primordials, is trying to spin the oceans open to allow something from below to rise. For now, our champion friend from across the seas has gone off to try and stop the primordials and catch them. Hopefully they can stop Gamma and Delta if they're out there. But I just hope, surely they are the worst of it. However, Scaradactyl, as I said before, is number 151. Meaning we're missing at least one Pokemon. Whatever it is, I do hope we can stop it. Wish us luck, Dodona. My dearest Pokemon Master, we need you now. After you left Kakarikos to go and capture the primordials across Olympia, a final one appeared. This Pokemon registers only as the Alpha Omega. It is purely a dark type, though it is thought to be the body of an ancient dragon, an elemental from the beginning of time that helped create this Earth's lands. You see, there are mythologies all across the Pokemon world that speak of beings that can shape the lands and seas, and this Alpha Omega, it would have been one of those if it wasn't, I suppose, the runt of the litter. It would seem that this dragon, this creature, got stuck underground, and as it tried to emerge, Solympia, as an island, was formed. People moved to this island thinking it was like any other, but no wonder there was a sense of mysticism about the place. For within what was first a hill and then a mountain, a creature was trying to rise up and emerge from within. But this was now the people's home. People carved a giant's face into the summit of Mount Solympia. It watched the island from above, and they worshipped it as their mountain god. But then, the elemental dragon, flowing with primal energy, burst from the mountain, breaking it open. This primal energy would have destroyed the Solympia region and its people in this Pokemon's rage. But the people of the region and their protector Pokemon were able to smite this great dragon. Its head of pure thunder split and became the species we know today as Thundra. Its elemental powers of air, fire, water, and earth also were removed from it. These Pokemon were bound to ancient masks created by the first people of Solympia. They became Gionis, Ositus, Heliphos, and the Master of Air, Titafon. And the body of this creature, the Alpha Omega, what remained, it fell back into the ocean, though I'm not quite sure how. It was sealed below the waves, crushed into the abyss, and there over the ages it has mutated into many forms. These forms are the primordials. The Alpha Omega is what remains of the body of that original dragon. They are all waiting for the day, of course, that Titafon will cause a great tempest, opening a portal between this sea world and the lands of Solympia to reunite them together. And this Alpha Omega, it now marches across the sea to Aetheron City. Champion, I hope you have found some way of stopping this final primordial. I will continue to research here in Cacario's town, and if I see or find anything of use, I will try to bring it to you. Dear champion, was it really you I saw riding on the wind? It couldn't have been you. No, your legs are far longer. I had a dream. I saw you, or a statue of you, fight the Alpha Omega and push it back into the sea. How bizarre. Odius tells me what I had was not a dream, but a vision of a Pokemon he saw just before the Primordials arrived. This is Allura, number 142, and it's the spinning top Pokemon, and it's known to be the will of the island. It travels the world using its powers to stop destructive and ecological events. It, according to Odius, has been going toe-to-toe with Titafon for generations. For it seems this Pokemon was carved from the very stone of Mount Solympia, a mountain that used to be filled with primal infinite energy. So this Pokemon has for a long time acted as this island's protector in secret. I wonder if you saw the battle. It was magnificent. Allura repelled the Alpha Omega back into the sea, and with Titafon in your pocket and the other Primordials in check, it seems that the Solympia region will be safe again. And my Pokedex is looking much more complete, with now 151 Pokemon registered. Still, I can't help but wonder if there could be one more Pokemon, one final legend or myth that we haven't yet uncovered. It would seem to me to be the case that there is one final missing piece of the puzzle, from a time before the region was even called Solympia, or before the elemental dragon erupted forth from the mountaintop, when a great stone face looked out across the island and was worshipped as a mountain god. Could that god be a Pokemon? A great watcher Pokemon? I think it's nice to imagine that our stories are being watched, and feels so meaningful when you bring people on these great journeys. The idea that somewhere out there, someone is observing and never interfering, and always just enjoying what we're doing. If there is some great watcher, godlike Pokemon, I'd like to say thank you for watching. I'm glad you found us residents of Solympia so fun to observe, and if you are watching, then I'd like to imagine your Pokedex entry. You are Cyclops, a mythical Pokemon, number 152, a giant stone head that was separated from Solympia before it was ever even known as Solympia. Brought to life, you are the creature that Allura was modified after, crafted by, carved in your image. You are the one that watches, only interfering in absolutely the most dire of time. When no heroes remain standing, your one eye is open. And I hope if you really are out there, and if you can see this and you've watched the entirety of this story, that you have enjoyed yourself. And I hope you know how grateful I am for your enjoyment, great watcher. Yes, I'm speaking to you, the one watching a Pokemon series on YouTube. I hope you've enjoyed the story of Pokemon Tempest and the creatures that live here in Solympia. I hope you've enjoyed the stories and the characters, and thank you so much for watching. Yours truly, Keep it Toby.